is my channel, Evolve with Monad. So good to share energy with you. The light is so bright. It's so very bright. So you can see all of me tonight, and I can see all of you. Welcome in, guys. So good to share energy with you. Still on location, still traveling, still doing all the things. Y'all know how I do. I just finished up with clients, and I wanted to hop on here. I see that we have Miss Laura here, so I'm going to go ahead and get some business. We're going to add Miss Laura as a moderator. I'm going to add you as a standard moderator. So you should be added. It says you are now added, Miss Laura, as a moderator. So that way, if we should have trolls, we will be able to manage how this goes. So good sharing energy with you guys. Come on in. Again, as we have done for the last few nights. Ooh, I could have well, I look a little like it's been a long day. Hi, Felicia. You are so welcome, Felicia. I saw your message. Good luck, Laura. I appreciate you. No pressure either way. I fully trust Miss Laura. Miss Laura is a fantastic client and a gold star client, and she does her work, and I'm so proud of her. But beyond that, she has a beautiful career where I feel very safe with her, let's just say. So I'm so happy to have her here protecting our energy today. All right, 2 lives in a row. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Yes, my angels have been challenging me to sometimes you gotta pop out and show folks what a conjurer say. I'm not gonna say what he said because it's YouTube, but and I don't really say that specifically. I try not to, but yeah, sometimes you gotta pop out and show folks. So we're gonna pop out and we're gonna do our best here. I have a really beautiful message for you tonight. I think it's gonna be beautiful. We're gonna see. You know, guys, I don't write or script what I work through. You're welcome, Miss Laura. I absolutely try to do this naturally, and I work with what my angels have given me. So today there's been a lot of downloads here regarding the people that I have worked with. Miss Cineas. Something on that. I woke up and seen angel number 555, any advice on what it may mean? Fantastic question. Yes, I will absolutely answer that for you. But what I'm going to do is start with just a preface here regarding what we're going to be getting into tonight. There's a couple of things that are going to be happening when you come in. Please ask your question for all subscribed members, and I don't mean just people that are subscribed tonight, though. If you are serious, I will definitely consider that, and definitely think about answering. I want to make sure that I'm not dealing with trolls, and sometimes one bad troll will ruin it for the whole bunch. But I know my tribe. Fortunately, I spent a lot of time with you guys, and so I know exactly who you are, and so I know that you've been subscribed to the city, so I will happily answer your question. You've been a long time supporter. So I'm going to get into it tonight. You guys see me decked out in green. So I've been working with clients today all over the greater Atlanta area, okay, from here to here to here to here to here. I've been all over the place in the last week. I've been all over here, and it's been fantastic. Tonight I am actually at a different location. I'm actually staying with a beautiful client at a client's house, and getting ready to work with some more clients tomorrow. But I brought my cards and all my stuff with me, as I do whenever I travel and whenever I work, because I work from all over the place. But what I will tell you is tonight we're going to be doing a little work with healing the heart chakra, and that's been a theme. I've been working with some heartbreaks. I had some situations last night. A client that had me along for a ride, if you will, where I was doing a stakeout. Let's just say, you know, it's so interesting, the career that I have ended up in, where my angels see fit for me to do all kinds of stuff. It was like a real life episode of Cheaters, except with a psychic and a best friend and all of that stuff. And you know, shenanigans happening in a very small town in our country somewhere. So it was a long night. So there were a lot of themes about relationships and exes and truths and whatever. And so what my angels asked me to do is to give you messages from your ex if you want clarity about that. I have a beautiful conversational deck, which also happens to be green. And this is made by a reader here actually on YouTube. I don't know if she sells them anymore. I think she closed her shop, but it's Alice. So I'm so happy to use Love Exists And so she definitely, that was her calling. Green is associated with the heart chakra for any of you guys that are wondering and you want to know. And so I'm wearing this incredibly royal, vibrant green tonight. And it's like floral, like, and it's just so gorgeous. This is one of my favorite pieces. So I really want us to heal. I also was asked to wear the butterfly as well for the big reveal. Sometimes you got to pop out as we are kind of going through our transformations in so many ways. And so green is about healing that heart space. If you were looking to go to a place on the globe, the Stonehenge is a place that deals with the pineal and also the heart chakra. So, hopefully, this color can help you if there's some healing that needs to happen for you. But we're going to also ask questions too. And then I'm going to do some freestyle questions. Even if no one asks me a question specifically, if no one has anything that they want to know about their ex specifically, I'm still going to channel what feels right for me so that I can give you some maybe arbitrary answers to questions you may not have even wanted to ask, maybe not even knew that you had. And we're going to see what we can do. The reason, before I get into the questions that have already popped up, that I want to talk about this to you is because this message and the deck that I'm going to be working with tonight, not just Love Exists, which is a deck which I was talking to you about, but this message was actually brought to you by one of my exes. This message is brought to you by an ex. And so this deck is a gift that was given to me by an ex. And there's a lot of, isn't it freaking gorgeous? It's a gorgeous deck. It was so gorgeous that when I received it, I debated keeping it, donating it, or ordering another one because of the nature of the energy that is attached. Because I really do believe that sometimes our exes will attach their energy to things if they want to keep us bound to them. You know, people are weird and stuff happens. But what I realized is that what I realized is that it was something that I could use for the collective. And anytime I can transmute and turn something that may be painful or something from my past into a teaching tool, that's always my aim. That's always what I seek to do, is to come before you guys and help you guys to transmute some of the things that you've been through. So I'm going to tell you the quick story about this because I think it may be pertinent or relevant to some of you guys as you're healing some of your heart chakra energy, okay? So what happened with this is it was a very tumultuous uh, uh, mind effery of a connection. She was a cosmic girlfriend of mine for sure. We called each other cosmic girlfriends, and it was sweet and it was good until it wasn't, and it was filled with a lot of gaslights and a lot of confusion. When I was clear with her, because I always recommend highly to you guys that communication is important. So I am not one that will just not say what's happening and then just be like, okay, I hate you. That's just not how I operate. It's not how this works, and it's not how I would want to be treated. So there were several times in that relationship where I addressed directly that I was noticing that we were drifting into karmic. She had gone rogue. That's one of the things that I noticed happens with a lot of us empaths, is that people will, excuse me, very much go rogue on us. And so she had gone rogue in our connection and started to do some weird things. And I'm not going to rehash all of that. I want to talk to you about the ending of it. And the ending of it is it ended. It's so funny. I had a friend earlier today who was talking to me about, that song, There Are 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, make a new plan, Stan, get on the bus, Gus, sneak out the back door, George, whatever. So there are 50 ways to leave your lover. And there are. And in today's world of hookups and heartbreaks and nothing serious, and you're a simp if you treat someone nicely, it's a hard place to be, especially for an empath energy, right? Any of you guys that are here have dated, and you know exactly what I'm saying. Okay, it is a mess, and it shambles outside. One of my favorite clips is from Grisha, who is a comedian, and she's with I can't think of his name, it just slipped me, but he's a famous interview. If you know him, you've seen him, a black guy. So many of them. But one of the things that she said was, she was talking about the dating landscape, and she says that it was trash outside. It's trash outside. She was like, it's like tumbleweed and pieces of crumpled up plastic, and you might think that you have something shiny and magical, and it's just a dirty piece of aluminum. I'm going to see if I can find that clip once this processes. The lives take a lot longer. The to process than my uploads do. So that is something that is happening. I'm just going to check on my moderator real quick. Miss Laura, how are you doing? So far, there's no trolls. Isn't it amazing? Even your energy, Miss Laura, has kept the trolls away. That's crazy. So maybe it's because it's so late. Or it's late on the East Coast. I, don't know, I think it might be 2, 3 in the morning. I have no idea what time it is right now. In any case, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. It's trash outside, essentially, in the dating world, in the dating landscape. And so it's rare when you find someone who is equally yoked with you. It's rare when you feel like you can actually share metaphysical principles with them or whatever. And in this person and in this cosmic ex-girlfriend, there were a lot of things that I felt like I had. Now I see it completely differently. I think that she was mirroring me to gain access to me. I don't really think she maybe even believed or understood or had any depth of spirituality. I think that I figured out how to move the trolls. Oh, awesome. I love that you figured out how to remove the trolls. Oh, that's so good. Good, good, good. I see. We're figuring it out together. We are evolving together, Miss Laura. I mean what I say. Okay, so I feel like she was mirroring. I feel like she wanted to gain access. I feel like she ended up developing weird jealousies. It was weird. It's a cautionary tale if you are someone that is in the community, the LGBTQIA community. Women and competition and stuff is weird. It's just not something I really like sign up for. I always want to like help people be the best they can be in whatever capacity. In any case, here's what happened with this, because I feel like it's so important, because we all have gone through this to some degree. So the relationship's over. I ended. I made it really clear. I said, hey, I think we're karmic. I think that this is karmic because we have two different things that we want. It's not going in the right direction. You have a boundary. I have a boundary. And these boundaries are diametrically opposed. Yeah, they do get hectic, Messinius. You're absolutely right. So these boundaries are diametrically opposed. And so what that means is that one moment, I want to give my moderator a little bit of feedback. Trolls, you know what trolls look like. So if they're being abusive, if there's any abusive language to me or anybody else in the chat, anything of that nature, just so you know, feel free to handle that accordingly. I trust your judgment and discernment on that. You will be able to see. You've been in the lives the last few nights, Miss Laura, so you've seen the shenanigans afoot. Okay, so I was clear, and I did what I recommend that you guys do, which is I had clear communication with her, and I said, clear face to face, not just a text, no coward way. I'm old school. I'm an 80s baby, okay? Back when we just had beepers and no one could find us, okay? And so I was very clear with her. I was like, listen, this is not working. This is not going to work. And even when I said that, it wasn't like I said, this is not working. I hate you. And I moved away. We still connected a little bit after that, as any breakup is not linear, right? It will happen in fragmented ways. And, when you date, women specifically, I call it the cuddle out, where it's like it takes a few times to have a breakup really be something that solidifies. In any case, it finally ends. It's properly ended. I take an out when I see an exit ramp. I try to take the path of least resistance, because I had addressed it directly. I had shared my concerns. I had tried to extract from this person clarity, honesty, anything, reciprocity, anything, but it was not to be. Sometimes people are not supposed to stay in your life. Maybe that's some heart chakra healing energy. They are not supposed to stay in your life. They are a lesson. She was a lesson for me, and I was a lesson for her. And there was no love lost at all, okay? Because we weren't invested or involved enough for it to be like the most painful cataclysmic thing, but it was still uncomfortable for me at times, and it still hurt my feelings for sure, which I think was by design. Now that I understand how calculated and manipulative she was, this wasn't accidental. She did it. There was no love. Now, ironically enough, one of the things that we are all attracted to people for different reasons, right? And one of the reasons that I was attracted to her is because she had incredible potential. And it was like so funny that after we broke up, that's when she wanted to like do extra credit. And I'm like, you've already failed the class. Season and reason, Miss Laura, exactly. I was like, you've already failed the class. Maybe some of you guys, your blast from the past, wanted to do extra credit after they got like an F minus in the class. And I really was a teacher for many years. So I was just looking at her very disappointed, like, that's too bad. I always knew that potential was in you. Too bad you didn't apply it when it was necessary, mattered, or you could have given me any kind of anything. So I was not interested. I lost respect for her. I lost attraction, all the things that happened. And I ended the connection. So after that happened, she reached out to me, as exes will do. That's a thing that happens. And that doesn't bother me. People will spin. That's natural. If you care about someone, you'll spin. It's a thing. And so I'm not here to be... this is not Kendrick dancing on Drake's grave. That's not my energy. We should not be an ego for that kind of thing. Two wrongs don't make a right. The way that she behaved was wrong. It's not going to make it right for me to shit on her unceremoniously without it being about transmuting and teaching a lesson. Does that make sense? Try to be integral with how even your breakups go, because that's where you get your real blessings, okay? When you're not being unfair or egregious. It's okay to call a thing, and it's okay to share your experience. It's okay to do all of that, but it's not okay to be, I would say, to beat a dead horse and or to embellish something just because it would make you feel better. The truths are the truths, and there are positive things about this person, and that's the truth. I'll never lie about it. And there are negative things as well. I'll never lie about it. But what she did was she was incredibly creative, and she did special touches that were very much akin to me. We were both the same life path 3, creative people, so she was very creative. This deck specifically was sourced, she said, from some art, I don't know, a museum or art, whatever, and whatever the case may be. And it's by a black artist who channeled this, a black woman specifically, and I really really love that. Now the reason that I know that, the reason that you're just seeing this now, is because she sent me, when we initially broke up, she sent me a package, and I waited months and months to open it, because guys, the things I teach you are the things that I also walk through. I didn't want to open it upon initially breaking up with her because I still was emotional and tender, sensitive, even though I was the one that was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't like it here. I don't like it here. So I waited until I was done with my work, until I had cleansed, cleared, salted, and done all of the things that I needed to do to make sure that I was never going to encounter her energy ever again in my life in a way that was going to be, like, there was not going to be any reconciliation, right? She's a human that exists in the world, okay? So, and I wanted for her to have whatever happiness and whatever things she needed to have, but I never wanted to invite her back into playing mind games with me or any of that stuff. So while I was still new to it, I wasn't going to open shit. In fact, she's lucky to end up in the trash, real talk, because that's really how I process it. Talk about evolving together, guys. I have grown, because old Monette would have handled this completely differently. Now I really wait for the guidance of my angels, and I didn't understand, because I was like, I should throw this away right away. And they were like, no, wait, but you're not supposed to open it yet. I waited until I cleaned her energy, until I was no longer emotionally attached, until I was not like thinking about her or missing her or whatever. Meaning, if that would have happened in the first few days upon the breakup, my heart chakra would not have been healed enough. Even if I was the one that took the initiative to be like, okay, enough is enough here. And spiritually, I closed it. I began closing it while we were still talking. I was shutting it down. Shut it down is what I heard from my angels. And they gave me the energy to shut it down months ahead of time. All right, guys. So let's talk about how this might apply to you. That may have happened to you. Someone may have reached out to you after a breakup or wanted to connect with you. What do you do with that? Well, my advice to you is to be, oh, Miss Laura, there's a troll. Take care of it. And actually, Ozempic is delicious. And so, uh, wow. Huh, someone's texting me. Okay. Life. I didn't see who it was, though. I didn't see who it was. So, goodness, I don't even want to pull it down. Someone, I know someone is on hospice watch, or someone may have crossed. I think that's what that's about. Uh, Thank you, Miss Laura. That was very quick, and I appreciate you. I knew. In the cut with my twin, we be vibing. I knew you were gonna do it, Miss Laura. I knew that you were the person. I also asked another person that I know will be fantastic, but I know that she is sleeping right now. She's on a different time zone than you are. Uh oh. Okay, Miss Laura, what you may have to do, I don't know. I don't know if I gave you moderation to be able to remove the user completely. Next time, let me see if I can go into your thing, Miss Laura. Okay. Let me see if I can go in. I am going to, no. Okay. Are you still there, Miss Laura? I just want to make sure. I want to make sure I didn't remove you. I was going in to see if I could up your moderation the next time. If we ever do this again, I'll give you ultimate, moderation control. So that way you can actually block them out too. I'm going to block this person though right now. Okay. Okay. Perfect. You're still there. Good. Excellent. All right. Sorry, guys. Thank you for bearing with me during housekeeping. We're figuring out this thing called live in the Wild Wild West of trolls. So we want to stay protected and safe. We empaths don't do all of this work to have people invade our energy. However, for any of the people that are watching this back, do y'all think I never heard a fat joke before? Y'all think that affects me? I could not sit here. Whoever comes in here that trolls me, that watches this back or wants attention because your parents didn't love you or whatever, y'all, people that are on these YouTube streets have a pretty thick skin. You have no idea some of the things we've been through. And some of you on this channel do know some of the things I've been through. And some of y'all don't know, have any idea, because I've never really told the full of any of my stories. Just touching on things as I saw them to be teaching mechanisms. It will take a lot more than a fact joke to get me to be upset. Ozempic, send it my way. Yes, yes, love it. Anyway, so back to this. This is something that may happen with you when you're getting out of a connection. If someone wants to spin the block on you or whatever the case may be. And because she was creative, I was like, damn, she had a way. And I appreciated that, That's why I was like, oh, in another relationship, she'll be fantastic. But the bullshit she was doing with me was unacceptable. And we work too hard over here to keep our spiritual energy clean, our spiritual hygiene up, to let people be vampiristic and troll us, right? In our personal life. So she sent a package and it was a card and all that stuff. And all the rest of it. And yes, of course you get rid of the things that are in that way that are really genuinely sentimental, but nothing about it was sentimental. What was nice though was this deck of cards, which has to do with the heart chakra healing. And I don't know when she picked them up. I imagine she did not anticipate how things were going to end, and she probably thought we would see each other again, and we usually gave each other gifts whenever we saw each other, as that's one of my primary love languages. She complained about the gifts though that I gave her, which is so interesting to me. People are so ungrateful, Anyway, or no, she didn't complain. Her mother complained about the gifts, because even your mamas will hate on you. Some of y'all have some codependent mamas that don't want to see you win, and I've never seen the level of hating that I saw in that situation. I was like, woo. That's too bad. That's too bad for you that your mom feels that way about you enough to want to not have you be happy. It was a wild thing to me, but you can't tell that to somebody really clearly. And I didn't say it that directly. I addressed it and I, set my boundaries with it, but I was like, that's fascinating to me. But in any case, that's a message and maybe another video for another day. So there were other things in it, but I opened it. Now, here's the thing. I didn't just open it immediately when my heart was still tender. Message one. I also reached out to a spiritual intercessor and friend to have her hold space with me. It was very specific. It was very intentional. Before I even opened the package that person that I used to know, my ex-cosmic girlfriend, wrote on and did whatever on, I cleansed my energy. I held Shiva Lingam. Bree, if you watch this back, you've been working with Shiva Lingam. I held Shiva Lingam. I put it between my bosom here. I always usually have crystals and rocks on me. Most metaphysical girlies do. And I also did some other cleansing practices just privately and some ancestral stuff too, to have protection, because I didn't know what hook or energy that she might be able to still get to me. I was actually quite pleasantly surprised that upon opening it, I was fine. I had greatly underestimated that I was really, really, really well and truly over it. But that's because I was obedient, guys, and I highly recommend you do the same. Listen, not with your heart and with your passion, but not with your heart, yes. Listen to your heart. Your heart will have you do stupid things. I was cerebral about the way I handled it. Once I identified that she was a threat and a liability, and that she was depleting my energy, and that she was bringing down my vibe in so many ways because of whatever was going on with her, I was like, I don't want to be attached to this. I don't want to switch destinies with her. I don't want to keep giving her my good juicy ass karma for her to fly in my face and be ungrateful and act like she doesn't understand what's happening. People will understand what's happening in your absence, and that's why you never ever go back. Okay, but that means you have to have some self-restraint. Now back to this. I took physical steps in order to protect myself before I opened it. And my friend, my intercessor prayer warrior friend, was on the phone. She was waving around selenite, and she held space for me as we opened it, because I didn't want to be in a space where I opened it and I was alone with energy that she was trying to send to me, or whatever the case may be. Upon opening it, I was like, oh my God, this is why I liked you. This is why I liked you when I was around you, was because what she had a way of doing was just doing a thing. She was incredibly charming, but that can be very not healthy if it's channeled wrong. But this is a positive out of it. Normally, again, I really thought about it. I was like, I'm going to donate the deck she gave me just because I don't want any energetic attachments. I love to support Black artists, especially Black women artists, especially Black metaphysical women artists and practitioners. This woman is a practitioner as well. And so I was like, I will shop her deck, I will buy it, and all that. So we took care of all of that. So, but the thing is, the gift itself was fantastic. It was fantastic because it actually touched my heart, and it was a unique deck that I've never seen the like of. And so tonight we're going to pull some messages from it to heal you. But I felt like it was very fitting to be in the green, which I've been in all day with my clients, but to be in the green tonight on live with you, to work with this green gold deck for you, and to maybe answer some questions that you might have lingering about an ex for you too. Maybe if you've gone through something like I did, or you're going through it, maybe you needed those tips just to know. Call a friend, wait until you're ready to read the email, the text, the whatever, and do it on your timing. I had no more obligation to her once we disconnected. So she didn't get to infringe or make demands on my energy or attention. And I waited till I was good and goddamn ready to open it. And again, it took me months. I just opened it maybe like within the last week, okay? Thank you so much, Miss Laura. Thank you so much. Yeah, Emerald Green, I love it. So I waited. I waited. This has been months and months and months since we broke up. Okay, well, a few months since we broke up and stopped connecting and speaking. And so, yeah, it took me months before I was like, you know what? Okay, it's time. The angel said it was time. But listen to your guides, guys. Listen to your angels. They will lead you. If I would have been impetuous and thrown it away, I would have missed out on a beautiful deck. And the reason that I actually enjoyed the deck is because yesterday, while I was up here in Atlanta, I was out in Cleveland, Georgia, yesterday, and I was working with a widower. His wife was a client of mine, and she passed away. And he used to be very skeptical and observant. He's never had a reading before. And his wife came to me in a dream. I texted him about a week or two ago, and I said, listen, she just popped in. She just wants you to know to find happiness. We're talking about heart chakra healing. She just wants you to find happiness whenever you can. They were together for 35 years. They were both doctors. And she passed away from glioblastoma. And I came and visited with her up here as she was passing and working with her and helping her make the transition to understand the people that were coming to get her ancestrally. And her biggest fear and concern was leaving him behind. She loved him so dearly. We found it at the funeral that she made each one of us promise 70 plus people to go spend time with him privately by ourselves so we wouldn't forget about him after the funeral. So yesterday we had sushi and a great lunch and hung out, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful, beautiful time. What a sweet, precious man, but he is weighted down with his grief. And my angels guided me to work with this deck because one of the things they loved, I was at their beautiful house, one of their houses. They have houses all over the place, but I was at their beautiful house out in the country in Cleveland, Georgia, and one of the things that they shared in common and loved was plants and planting and gardening. And he was showing me pictures of the house when it had nothing. And he's landscaped it so beautifully. He literally bought a piece of heavy equipment. He tiered out planes. He like did amazing work. I can't even believe he did. He was a Virgo, so of course he did. But he did amazing work. And what he said was, I'm considering selling because the joy of gardening with my wife is gone. Like I did it because it made her happy and I did it too. We loved doing it together, but now that she's not here, it's not so fun. And so my angels guided me to work with him specifically with this plant deck, which had been disobedient to just throw it away and chuck it when I got it, I would not been able to patronize the woman. I would not been able to like figure it out again or whatever. And I would not have had it available for such a time as that for him. When we pulled the messages, we began the reading that I did with him with these messages, and then I moved into some tarot and some other oracles. But he's so related with tears welling up in his eyes because the cards that he pulled were pertinent and relevant to the grief and the loss of his wife, but also the new beginnings that he's terrified of even taking in these steps. Even if you have not physically lost a spouse, if you ever had a breakup, it can feel like a death. And with the heart chakra green energy, you are healing and you are ready for what's next, or your higher self knows that one day you will be ready for what's next. And so after I saw the response, the real, true, genuine, raw, emotional response that he had to these cards, I knew that I had to share them with you. I debated sharing them with you because X's will spin, and the only place you can't block a bitch is on YouTube, which is the wildest thing to me, because they can be all kinds of creative and sneaky. So I did not want to give any credence to that X because of the way that she did me. I felt like she doesn't deserve another nice word said or anything, but I'm fair. That's one thing about me is I'm never gonna lie about an experience that I had with someone. But the truth of the matter is, even in the Bible they say that God used even a donkey to deliver the message. So people that are assholes in your life, empaths and the assholes that we are assigned, people that are empaths, people that are assholes in your life can also be dispatched in to have drop off a little bit of right. And even though it was, a ploy in efforts for reconciliation to some degree, it was maybe the last vestige of goodness that she was dispatched and asked to give to me. And so I share it with you as I often do. We evolve together. So after I saw how my client yesterday, that beautiful widower, reacted to this, I knew that we needed to read some messages together. So that's what we will do. Before we get into those messages, I'm going to answer the questions that came through because I don't think we have many, and then we'll pop right into the messages. So I work 555. So angel number 555 is all about change. Okay, Messinius? Change is a Saturnian energy, so that number is associated with Saturn. It's about lessons and it's about long lessons. 555. That 4 5s is about a foundational change. There are things that you are building in your life. This 4 is all about stability and work specifically. So the fact that there are 4 5s means that there is something that is changing, but it's done incrementally in your life. So there will be pieces that are moved and parts that are moving to get you to the next step of wherever you need to be. 555 means that the changes also will be happening swiftly. And so you will notice rapid changes. You could notice that things are shifting in relationship stances. You might be setting boundaries differently. You might be called to do a different body regimen. That's what's happening when you see 555. So that's what you need to know about that. One of the things that I also recommend is to look it up. Research, we evolved together, but we are good students over here, so I would definitely use some research too. Because the beautiful thing about pulling up any of those angel number sites is that you will find something that resonates specifically for you, and that's always what we want to do, is find something. I can be your teacher, but I am nobody's guru, and I highly recommend over here that you do not get a guru, okay? Or if you do, that they're temporary and transient and then they move through. Meaning, there are people that I'm working with at various times of my ascension and new energies that come in to up level me to the next level of whatever the case may be, okay? All right, guys, a little water break, and let's see if there's any more questions, and then we're gonna get into the readings. I am single, been single for a long time. I always get these epic connections that I feel are similar to the ones in your videos. Really, tell me more about that. I'm so fascinated. Epic connections that I feel are similar to the ones in your videos. Yeah, we empaths do get some very epic connections. That connection with that person had all the trappings of almost a perfect, not a rom-com, but like a perfect kismet moment. It was really beautiful. And I own it, and I extracted the goodness of it. You know how you say you take the bone or the marrow from the bone? I extracted the good parts from it. And I'm glad that it was a person that I have known him. Oh, excuse me. excuse me. I am glad that it's a person that I have known in my life. I learned a lot of beautiful things from her. I learned a lot of painful things from her, but I also sharpened my intuition. And that's one of the things that any of your exes are there to teach you. When I talk about transmuting the energy, that's what you do. You examine what was the good, what was the bad, what did you learn, what was the takeaway, how did it affect you. If you can get out before there's real damage done, that's more advantageous. Me even being able to talk about her means that I got out before she did too much damage. But we were heading down the lane of potential damage. My angels definitely gave me a heads up that it was going to go really bad. So, but I would love to hear more about your story, Sydney. It's also somewhere on my channel is my email. So if you want to email me the full story, I would love to read it. Okay, just you need to make sure you tell me in the comments you email me, because my email is the Wild West. So I don't want to have it sit there and miss it, because that has happened before. All right, guys. So let's see what messages we have from our animal plant spirit deck. Again, the person that made this deck B, 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 B. The Green Gold Ancestral Plant Spirit Oracle deck is a 68 card deck connecting you with dysphoric contemporary guidance rooted within the ancient wisdom of our oldest ancestors on Earth, plants. And I love this. What a beautiful box she did. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So she studied, she's a practitioner. She talks about her teachers and everything else. Her name is Star Feliz of Botanica Camarium. Anyway, we'll be reading the definitions because this is not like a normal oracle deck where I'm just going to interpret the pictures and the messages. They're definitely, she's channeled, and so we want to respect her work. So let's see what comes up, and then we will clarify with some conversations cards. All right, guys. What messages does a collective need to know from their ex? I feel like that was one. It came out funny. I wanted it to come out on its own. Guys, when you're shuffling, you don't always have to wait for it to come out on its own, but when it does, like I just had a chunk that fell out, and I'm going to, do I want to take them? Like that. So let's see if I can just get one. There we go. You see how that one just flipped? That's a card, or that is what needs to be seen. So it's hard to do that all the time and hold it up like that, but just so you can see. So the two that fell out were Mandrake, which is interesting. I think Mandrake was the root that was in Pan's Labyrinth, and that's one of my favorite movies, so that's really interesting. It was a root that was put under the bed. They were kind of doing like root work with it, essentially, to like prolong life. And then I have mango, which I happen to love mango. That's my favorite fruit. The other one that came out was wild yam. I'm going to do one more. And if we get called to do more, we will. I'm going to keep this about an hour. So we're at 30 minutes now. 35 minutes. One more for the collective. Well, that was more than one more, wasn't it? Your ex has a lot to say. Okay. They have a lot to say. That's funny. Yeah, see how that goes? When that happens, sometimes there'll be blowouts. And so I won't be able to reach all of them now because if I do, let's try it again. It's because I'm holding it up. So I'm going to hold it down and just let one pop out. Exactly. Exactly, Felicia. All right. They have a lot to say. Come on, angels. Can we just get one card? Chunks. So many chunks. Now, this is a really beautiful thick cardstock, and it has a gold embossing. The detail, the attention to detail here is fantastic. I am a deck junkie. Two cards almost just fell out on the floor, but I caught them with my toe. Tamarind, which is from my country, and yucca. These are like West Indian fruits and roots. Fruits and roots, okay? So that's it. We'll stop there. I think that's the messages. Two more just fell out, but I'm not going to take them all. I can't take them all. You guys are wild. The exes have a lot to say, so we're going to definitely get into that, and hopefully we can offer some clarity. So let's start at the very beginning, guys. Thank you. We have the mandrake, the first one, the mandrake. So let's see what the mandrake. This is a picture of the mandrake, so you can get a picture, and you can see its purple flowers there, the mandrake. So let's see what the definition of the mandrake is. Pomegranate wants to come out too. It popped out here and now I just saw it again. So I may read pomegranate if we've got time at the end because it seems like there's a message there. So what I love here is she puts its species name at the top, guys. You see that? The species name is at the top. There's a black and white picture here. And then there's the channeled message. And that's what I think is so unique about these cards. And that's why I really wanted to support her and purchase, because I was like, wow, this is beautiful. And I know the work that it takes to channel, right? But for her to sit with each one of these roots, to work with them, to go find a picture of them, to Like you guys don't know the work that goes into sometimes putting something together like this. Everybody that's a reader, sometimes readers will make decks, and I've even tried my hand at it too. And so I really respect the work when someone does it. So I'm so grateful for her for putting the work into this. Anyway, it comes from Africa, Europe. Its root and it's associated with the planet Pluto, and it is the sacred clown. And the mandrake says, "I am the big cosmic joke. Every day is a divine play. I remind you that you are spirits living as a spiritual experience in a human form. In due time, the body will lay waste, but projected into another state of being." Wow, that was a great movie. So essentially, that's your angels and ancestors making fun of us because they're watching us like Netflix. Would you like to watch a different one now? So I'm going to read that again. In due time, the body will lay waste, but the essence of you will be projected into another state of being. Wow, that was a great movie. Would you like to watch a different one now? It reminds me of when Netflix says, "Are you still watching?" When you've been chilling too much on the Netflix and chill. So let's clarify the message of the mandrake. Intuitively, it means that you can choose a different direction. And I think that's a perfect message regarding our exes, right? You can choose a different direction. The cosmic girlfriend that I had, I enjoyed. There were enchanting and delightful moments that happened with her. We're not with people that we don't like. A breakup happens, and then all of a sudden we remember all of the things, and we realize all of the things that we don't like about the person. But when we were with them, we were attracted physically, emotionally, sexually, whatever the case may be, and they did interesting things. What I couldn't qualify or communicate to people around me, and also I was very much insulating it. People knew that this was my cosmic girlfriend. I traveled with her. I introduced her to my friends and my family, all that stuff. Okay, so I was very open with her, as I think anybody that's dating someone should be. And likewise, I was introduced to her family and worked with a couple of her friends as well too. But what I will tell you about this is that when you're in any connection, there were positive things that happened there. Even if it was someone that was absolutely crazy, some of you guys have dealt with real heavy narcissistic abuse, toxicity, and whatever. What were the original reasons that you were attracted? The reason that I'm bringing that up for you is because we create from contrast. And so, what you did or didn't get in your connections is something that you will manifest from contrast. So, let's say your ex boyfriend brought you coffee and that was something that you liked, but he didn't pick up his socks. That was something you didn't like. So you're creating from the contrast. So now the next boyfriend you manifest will be someone that brings you coffee and picks up his socks. You know that you don't like someone who picks up socks is because you experience a contrast of said thing. And so one of the things that I couldn't articulate about my connection with this ex cosmic girlfriend were the little ways that she was very particularly thoughtful. Yeah, she was incredibly selfish and thoughtless at times too. Same. Both things are true. But why did I like her? Well, it's because magic. She would do magic sometimes. It was so disappointing. I was like, I didn't want to be like Machiavellian, and be like in my hands, right? Or Svengalian about it, rather not Machiavellian, Svengali, more Svengali. But I was like the incredible potential. But that will go to waste for anybody that doesn't know how to manage it. Divine feminine, empaths, empresses, emperors, kings. When you join with someone, what you need to know about you and your ex is probably that they miss you because you have a way of bringing out the best in people. No matter what your human design is, what your sign is, if you've done your shadow work and you're loving authentically and honestly, you're already ahead of the game from most of the dating trash that we're living with daily, right? So you are an experience that a lot of people, yeah, Miss Anita says he felt the same strange attraction. Yeah, it is a strange attraction. So you're already light years ahead of people that are in the regular dating world. When someone encounters you, it's a whole new world and it's such a unique experience. So unique that they may sabotage it. So let's clarify the mandrake. What's the conversation? Okay, we'll do what do you guys want me to do? A goddess, African oracle goddess deck. So one card out here. Hopefully they don't flip everywhere. We have two. Etheric cords. It's time to cut the cords with your ex. I think that's a perfect segue when we're reading about the Mandrake and the Mandrake's ask, which movie do you want to watch next? So some of you guys that are watching this back on the replay need to do a cord cutting, okay? Or you need to watch my video about salt divorce, okay? I have a video about how to do a salt divorce. I highly recommend it. Here's the thing about salt divorce is this. You don't do it for everybody. Uh, you do it when someone is particularly toxic to you and they got you off your path or off your energy to any degree. You do it when you want someone that's to be physically away from you. My connection to that person, because of her level of manipulation, was, as you say, a very strange attraction, Lasinius. And so I called in, my angel said I needed to call in the big dogs for this because she was almost so very good and I didn't know what I was dealing with, that I was like, oh, this one's serious. I gotta get her the fuck out of here. Okay. So I think that's really powerful. Etheric cord cutting has to happen. And I did do cord cutting with her because it was important. I did it before. I did it while I was still with her. I did it while I was still looking at her face because I was like, oh, this is not going the way. My angels were ready. Be in touch with your spirit team because they will guide you better than your therapist, better than your bestie, better than anybody. I didn't consult with humans. I consulted with them. And I was like, how do I do this? And they were like, you in danger. This one's a little tricky for you. And sometimes angels will be dispatching an asshole that is tricky for you. That does challenge you because you have growing to do. There were areas and blind spots that I had that she pointed out to me, not on purpose and not altruistically. She didn't come and say, I'm here to teach you because I love you. She was a dick to me. She was a complete ridiculous person. And I had to work through some resentment I have for sure. But that's why I cut these etheric cords. So the Mandrake is saying to you, if you want to watch a new movie and you want to Netflix and chill with a new boo, you got to cut cords. The card that also fell out was harvest. So what they're saying here is if you want to bring in harvest and have abundance, you have to be willing to release something. You can't collect in your hands if you're still holding on to the past or still holding on to an etheric cord and a connection to that person. I didn't want to share telepathy with her anymore. I didn't want to have messages pop up in our connection. I welcomed in, because that's how my angels work with me, a lot of magical, mystical communication. There were portals that we jumped through together. It was really beautiful and it was a unique experience. I've dated a lot of different people. It was a unique experience because she had the capacity for it to a certain degree. But after it was over, I said, let's shut this down completely. Okay. And create from contrast something that is more in alignment with me, as I believe she will create from contrast something that is more in alignment with she. But harvest is what happens here after you cut your cords and you decide you want to watch a new movie. So that's the message of the Mandrake. Let's get a conversation card. What do we need to know about the Mandrake energy? The angels support the new connection. I love that. So when you cut etheric cords and when you're ready to pull in your new whomever from the contrast you create, the angels will support that date. But they want you to remember, as you're healing your heart chakra, that you need boundaries in any connection. It doesn't matter how good it is and how much limerence, you will need boundaries in the connection. Let's move on to the tamarind. No, the mango. Mango is next. It comes from Asia, Bloom. It's associated with the sun and Leo, and it is the famed performer. Who are my celebrities here? I am the juice of the sun. Let's show you the mango. Y'all know what a mango looks like. There's a mango. Get that plant healing all up in your energy. I am the juice of the sun. My joy is the will that brings my life's dreams into being. My chest drips with its honey that delights the earth in pure celebration. And my authentic living lies the nourishment for the harvest of the fields of many. All right, so let's talk about the mango and let's get a clarifier out of that goddess oracle. One more sip of water. And more water. I am not well hydrated today. I really didn't eat breakfast till 10 p.m., which I know sounds crazy. I was working all day and doing the most. And, bear with me, guys. My client had the cutest bottles of water. I've never seen such blue water. It's so cute. Uh, all right. Not just a blue room. All right. So let's see here. What's the clarifier for the mango for my collective? Two cards just popped out. Live out loud. And the what look at this. If that's not a performer, if ever there wasn't, and then I say performers and celebrities and mangoes associated with that. And then again, the harvest. They really are driving home the harvest. So live out loud and the harvest. Let's clarify that. I'm gonna clarify that with tarot. What popped up was the moon card. It fell, and I can't reach it. If I do, I will knock over the tripod. The moon card fell out. So there are secrets here. Was it their secrets that you were dealing with, or is it yours? Clarify what you want them to know about the secrets. The Nine of Wands. Live out loud. Okay, so if the mango is asking you, no, Mandrake was asking you, what movie do you want to see next? The mango is asking you if you are ready to live out loud and be seen. Sun energy, Leo energy. You are not, I will tell you, and that's why we're seeing green. I'm channeling that song with Drake, Nicki, and Wheezy, but it doesn't have anything to do with the heart chakra, but it's called Seeing Green. I think it's about money. But right now, the reason that we're seeing green here, and the reason that they asked me to wear green today, to work with all of the clients today, is because you are healing your heart, but you have PTSD, Nine of Wands. You are terrified to be exuberant and carefree. When you love someone, you're happy, right? You can't help but to share. You want to tell people. You talk about them. You think about them. You guys know how it is. You're on the phone cupcaking with your booski, all that stuff, right? So when that's happening and it's filling up your cup and it feels good, and then it's yanked away because they're either duplicitous or deceitful or abusive, or you aren't interested, or whatever's happening, whatever your story is for you and your ex, it will make you be a bit calloused in your heart and not want to move on to what's next. And they keep showing me harvest, right? So they're saying that some of you guys need to do some shadow work. And what that looks like is journaling why you're scared of relationships, okay? So that's one of the things that you need to know. Why are you scared of relationships? One more on harvest. Clear communication is your next step, okay? Laura says, that is me, but will sing my heart out at karaoke. Yes, Miss Laura's a beautiful, talented celebrity karaokeist. In real talk, though, she really is, guys. But Eight of Wands, communication, they're really guiding you to communicate. They said that the key to transmuting the energy from your last relationship and connection is healthy communication. And this is very personal to me because I'm sharing you my personal story about my ex, but communication was a huge issue. And had there been better communication or more honest, authentic, and heartfelt communication, I don't know that we could have fully salvaged it, but it would have ended differently. And it might have been a little bit better. What they're saying is in your next connection, in order to bring in the harvest, you must keep the lines of communication open. Also, if someone did not give you communication or clarity or honesty, then they ask for you to live in that integrity. The only way to counter people that are duplicitous and dishonest is to exist in radical authenticity and honesty. And that means that even if it feels abrasive to them and invasive to them and uncomfortable for them. I remember once writing her initially, one of the first times my angels told me to break up with her was like over a year ago. Over a year ago. It was like a Christmas or two ago. And I remember telling her specifically what I tell you, if I continue to accept this energy from you, I'm telling the universe that it's okay. That this level of behavior and that the way that you're treating me is acceptable to me. And that, yeah, the word salad is real. That it's acceptable to me and that I want more of it. And I had wrote her, because I write, I'm a writer, guys, and I'm a speaker, and so that's what I do. And I document my energy that way for reasons that I'm guided to. It's never just something that I'm doing. My angels really work with me. And in that case, with that connection, I was a documentarian, I was a librarian, I was a historian of the relationship because she did a lot of gaslighting and slippery things and subterfuge. And I will never forget her asking me, why did you write me all of this? It was snotty. It was indignant. She was put upon because in my clarity of really telling her my truth in an exit interview, one of the first, when I was trying to get the fuck out of there, it offended her because she's used to a very toxic environment and toxic dating world, and she has no idea what it is to have any kind of healthy connection at all. I don't think. I don't know if she's ever had one. And I'm not saying I'm the healthiest. I'm just saying I was far healthier to than a lot of what I know for a fact that she was in. And so that was an affront to her. My honest, direct communication. She literally recoiled at that like I poured hot water on her. She was pissed. And I imagine a gaslighter would be pissed about that. But the reason I bring that up for you guys is because that's how you set yourself free. My honesty and my integrity is why I ended up not feeling devastation to the nation at the end of it, because I know that I lived fully my truth the whole time. I was direct with my communication. I was so direct. I was so direct it even surprised me. I just pulled a card out literally from behind my back row, so I guess the angels want me to add that in too. I mean, like, guys, because the cards are flipping everywhere, so that's crazy. So that's what you need to know regarding the mango. Work on your PTSD, shadow work, write down what you don't like, what you want to create, and realize that you do deserve to have love. But when you bring the harvest in, you have to communicate, okay? Next card, guys. Okay. Pardon me, and thank you for letting me hydrate. All right, we got to take care of ourselves. All right. So wild yam. Pomegranate's here. I'm going to read it because it keeps coming up. Pomegranate. I don't have the card up, but I'll show you the picture here. Species Asia period seed. I know. Seed. Venus, Pluto, the jewel of the ancestral crown. I am the graceful statue of the divine union. My angels are hilarious. Remember I kept saying pomegranate wants to come out, and I'm like, I'm not seeing the card, but it keeps, if the card popped out earlier, I think it might be on the floor, one of the ones I felt. But they want a pomegranate, and divine union is all about relationships. You see how the angels don't play? I love the work that I do. I love sharing it with you. I love to have you guys witness it and to bear witness, to hold space for me as I hold space for you. But they are always listening, and the angels are laughing today. They said, "Oh, you want to do heart healing? We're gonna talk. Okay, so let's talk." All right. I am in a graceful, excuse me. I am the graceful state of divine union. I am the culminating stage of creation, becoming birth, death, and rebirth. For they are all the same. Oh, that's so beautiful for the widower that I worked with yesterday. Oh, the way that they showed his energy. They showed him and his wife both going through portals, but for the first time in their life, they had to do it separately. She went through the portal of death, transformation, and rebirth into her spiritual self. And he has to start a new life without her. Normally they would confer with each other. I'm going to cry. And they'd be by each other's side. But even in death, they still are, because she woke me up in the night to tell him I said hi. And what he told me was, oh, her birthday's this weekend and I'm going up to spend it at her favorite place as a child in this apple alley or orchard somewhere up north with her family. So she was very much present and knowing that that was about to happen. Even when we cross over, maybe someone here needs to hear this. You never really die. The spirit still remains and still resides. And she was communicating with me, and she was making me keep my promise that I made to her when she was alive, to go and see him and spend time with him. But also to tell him that she's right by his side. That's real divine union. So I got to witness that in life and in death for them. And it was so beautiful and humbling. I'm very grateful that they invited me into that very precious thing. Love is beautiful, guys. I love love. And one of the things that you'll notice too, as your heart chakra is healing and opening back up, is that tears might flow more easily for you, even if they're bitter tears and sad tears. Because when we cauterize our heart, we're the Queen of Swords, we shut off that emotion. That's air, the Queen of Swords. But the Queen of Cups is when we felt like we were taken advantage of. So we'll push that away. We'll bury her. We'll kill her because we feel like she betrayed us. You let us get played. You let us get hurt. But the Queen of Cups is that place that we love from. The Queen of Cups was that widowed, that wife reaching out to her husband from the other side via me in a dream. I literally woke up and texted him at 4 a.m. and was so surprised by his reply because it was so beautiful and so in depth and so not skeptical Dr. Him. And that's how a divine union will affect you, even from the other side. She told him, mind your manners, and write a beautiful reply. And that reply got me all the way up to Cleveland, Georgia, to be by his side. That's the power of a divine union. Oh, to be loved like that. But the thing about love is that there is a loss. And a lot of us have a hard time processing that. Those two were so lucky, 35 years, no kids, travel, money, great careers, multiple houses, culture, smiles. She was body and wild, and he was stoic and respectful. And the way he took care of her in her last days was so beautiful. And still, they had to face a death and an ending. Not a breakup, no cheating, no drama. I counsel that all the time. This was so unique because their union was in fact divine, but they still had a challenge in it. Message. The heart, when you love, will get broken at some point, but does that mean you don't love? What is it said? It is better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. As a Leo, I can tell you that's the truth. Even tonight, this message is brought to you from a love that I had. Even if that person never loved me, I did love that person. And the angels dispatched her in to share this plant medicine. And if that's the only nice thing she ever did in our connection, which is not the truth, then it's something that I take because I know how to transmute. Does that make sense, guys? So I don't regret anything, even though I don't wish to ever encounter her energy or her personhood again. I can still appreciate, and I was present in the love and in the connection, even if she was absent and she was doing a lot of deflection and all the other things. So back to divine union. I am the graceful state of divine union. I am the culminating stage of creation, becoming birth, death, and rebirth. For they are all one and the same, which is scorpionic energy, guys. For any reader here, you know what that is. You all carry the seeds of life within you, and you as well were once a seed, well nurtured, green. Honor the personal and generational journeys that brought you here. Think about your parents and the ways they weren't, well, oh, y'all, we're going to heal tonight. I feel it. I feel it rocking. I feel it rocking. Hmm. Some of you guys need to forgive your parents. That's what I just heard. As I was rocking, I was channeling mother. I was channeling the empress. I was channeling nurtured. Some of you were not nurtured by your parents. Some of you guys had bad examples from parents that didn't know what they were doing. Some of them were broken, just like you at times. Some of them were purposely broken. Some of them were willful. Some of them were willful. Some of them were abusive. Some of them made you suppress parts of yourself. And you did the best you could. But what your angels want you to know right now is they did the best that they could, even if they did not do the best they could at all. I have clients that I work with where I have a lot of judgments. I feel a lot of ways for a woman that has never carried a child. I feel a lot of ways about some of the ways that my clients weren't parented because there's a mama in me for you guys. And I had a moment where I realized that my mother was a human. I remember walking as a toddler and seeing her after she'd escaped my dad. He was very abusive and narcissistic, physically abusive, and so she had left him, and she went to go work to be a live-in maid. We were living in Miami in a Jewish family's house that had taken us in, and during a break she had during the day, I walked in on her face down on the bed and reeking, sobbing tears. And I called out her name, and she quickly dried her face and sat up and distracted me with toys or something. But it was the first time that I realized. I remember that memory later. I don't know that I processed it then as a child, but later I recalled that. It was such a visceral moment for me because it was like my mom is human. My mom's heart was broken. She left because it's what she needed to do, but she had that Stockholm attachment to someone that was doling out abuse. She knew leaving and moving away and hiding from my dad was the right thing to do. He always came and found us and even found us there, which was terrifying. But that was the first time I saw her in despair. And it was the first time when I recalled it later as an adult that I realized how much my mom cared for him, even in his abusive energy and lies. and how she was just a human, a woman, and a person. Not my mom that was super mom that could fix anything, and cook anything, and make me feel better. Not my mom that could sew a dress and help me win science fairs and competitions. Not my mom that showed up to my band and poetry readings. She was just a woman whose heart was bleeding. And I want to hold space for her and for any of your parents that you do have compassion for, because she was just trying to survive. And she had to work, and she had to feed me, and she had to take care, and she had to be a living maid, and she had to smile, all while she was getting played and abused and treated badly. So, for those of you guys, you need to look back at your parents and realize that they were human. And even if they fucked up royally with you and you don't want to offer any forgiveness for them, you might be the person that's breaking through the generational curse here. And that's what the pomegranate wants you to understand, those little individual seeds. I think about Hades because that was the fruit that he lured Persephone with to stay in hell with him. That's another dangerous story. That's a story of debauchery as well. So there's definitely some generational stuff that you might need to purge, write about. Things that we can't even talk about on YouTube, if you understand what I'm saying, because there were some very toxic themes in that Greek mythology. Okay. All right. So let's clarify the pomegranate. Let's do one card on the pomegranate. Yeah, the moon. A lot of shadow work there because you're breaking generational curses. That makes a lot of sense to me. Take time for deep self-reflection because it's essential. You see what it says on the bottom of the card? You can't make it up. Man, I love when the angels do a reading. I don't know if it's going to focus. I'm so glad that you are relating. Let's see here. I have a question, Jennifer. How to handle a cheater? Any messages? Words. Your cheater did not like you calling him or her out. Jennifer, any messages of advice for dealing with the cheater? I will certainly answer your question. Thank you for asking. All right, let's see. I'm just always just trying to keep up. Thank you for saying hello, Laura. You're amazing. Crying is release. I'm relating to this message. Me too. Excellent. All right. So with the moon, you are absolutely supposed to do some spiritual. And literally, she's journaling. Oh, y'all, I can't make this up. Look at it. She's journaling. I gotta be quiet. My client is upstairs. She is a big house guy, so but she's journaling. She is journaling, guys. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love it. You guys are supposed to journal about some of that dark stuff, about some of the generational curse stuff, about some of the stuff you broke, about maybe the first time you realized your mom was a person or your dad was a person. How did they get their needs met? Listen, I don't agree with a lot of the ways some of my clients' parents got their needs met. I thought it was bullshit because they were selfish. But it's easy for me to say because I wasn't in their shoes. And sometimes they were toxic and narcissistic too, so I give them no grace and they're demons as far as I'm concerned. But what drove them? What insecurities drove them? Maybe that's an angle you can attack it from if you don't have compassion. For my mother, I had compassion because my mother loved me and she was a good mother to me in the best way she could be. But for those of you that were abused by your parents drastically, you might have to attack it from a different angle to find a modicum of humanity in them, to understand their insecurities that drove them to neglect you to the degree that they did. Because what a sick person they had to be to not take care of their fucking kid. I hold space for you. Green, heart chakra energy. I love you. I hold space for you. I hold space for that little kid in you that didn't get what you needed from that person. My heart bleeds for you guys. But in order to transmute it, you have to tell the truth from the lies. So write those down in your journal and have a good cry and heal your heart chakra. Because you deserve that. You deserve to have a good life. You deserve, as the pomegranate says, to have a good life. So my deepest condolences for those of you that didn't have parents that parented you right, or from a place of concern and selflessness. You deserve more than that, and that's why you will give more than that to yourself, and we will hold space for you too as you begin that work. Okay, now let's move on to the next card, the wild yam. Whew, let's get it together, guys. The wild yam. I can't find it. Okay, wild yam. North American, it's associated with roots or root chakra. It's the ancestral healer. That's hilarious. We're just talking about generational curses. This is the ancestral healer. The angels orchestrated this message tonight, guys. I am the movement of life forces. Let me show you guys a picture of the wild yam. You don't see the yam itself, but you see I believe you see the leaves here. Okay, so that's the wild yam. All right. We also had. Okay, I am the movement of life forces. The depth is where your power lies. The depth is where your power lies. Much of what is held onto. This is so good. The angels are doing this message. This is so awesome. The depth is where your power lies. Much of what is held onto isn't ours to hold, blocking the vitality of what we need to express. Throat chakra, 8 of Wands. Remember, they said they want you guys to communicate in your next relationships. Blocking the vitality of what we need to express. Honoring the past honors my present futures. I move out into completion and on to the next cycle. This is a message about getting rid of that ex. You have completed that cycle. I'm here to usher you in and hold space for you. This is so beautiful. We're going to do Big White Seers Tarot for a clarifier right away. I'm single again. Come on, 9 of Pentacles. I'm back on the grind. Hey, you're single again. 9 of Pentacles. I love to see it. We'll clarify it with a little bit of mini Light Seers Tarot. First one out. I can't even make it up. Whew. Mufasa. The lovers. Ooh. Y'all manifested love again. Some sexy time. This is Geminian energy. This is hilarious. Shout out to my special Geminis that are here tonight. You know who you are. Ah! In my little sister energy. Ah! In your face. You guys are manifesting sexy time. And not just sexy time, but time with a love. This is a lover. Look at this. Look at this smoldering ass, passionate ass embrace. Look at these two people lost in each other. This is not just sex, y'all. We grown over here. We grown as sexy. It's over 18 plus, okay? You're manifesting a lover. You're manifesting a real lover, not a selfish lover, not an immature child, and not God knows whatever else you have with your exes, okay? So the reason that the wild yam is here, yep, Miss Laura. The reason that the wild yam is here is because it's saying it's time to move to the next thing. First, your season of singleness. Are you going through a whole phase or non-whole phase? Are you negotiating with yourself about what it's going to be? You decide. You get to write your own story up there, journaling under that moon. But the wild yam says you have new love. If you welcome it in and if you want it, that can enter soon. Soon is relative on the timeline. You decide. It's an escrow for you. You decide when it drops down into your reality. You can push away or pull in your manifestation. The angels are funny. You know who you are. They're funny. They're playing with us tonight. All right. So the next one is the tamarind. So let's read the tamarind. From Africa, it's associated with Mercury, which is communication, the molder of new directions. I am the discerning. Come on, man. Look at how that angel said we're going to do a heart chakra healing, and y'all are going to be talking about relationships. This is so beautiful. I am the discerning connection. The gut has a process that chooses what to keep, what to enjoy, and what to integrate and then discard. I bridge dreams with their rightful recipients. Come on. You see why this deck is so beautiful? I bridge dreams with their rightful recipients and newly empty vessels with warming waters. Like the lovers. All that I touch comes alive with a new ferocity. Have you ever had a tamarind? If you have, they are this thing that looks really kind of like a poop. It's so funny. They sometimes have a little velvety fur on the outside, and they're very sour and sweet inside. It's like nature's natural sour sweet gummy. They're big seeds inside, and they have like a connective tissue that it's reminiscent of a bean. It's part of the bean pod family, I do believe. But what you need to know about them is they're both sour and sweet, and love can be that way. Sometimes bittersweet and sour and sweet, but you can make the most delicious confections with them. But they have this natural sweetness and sour. It's a perfect balance. The tamarind. So let's talk about the clarification of said tamarind. Two more cards to go. Excuse me, guys. Celestial alignment. I think that this says something about discerning connections, integrating, deciding what to keep. Celestial alignment, fear. Oh, I can't make it up. Discerning connection. The gut has a process that chooses what to keep, enjoy, integrate, and discard. I bridge the dreams with their rightful recipients and newly empty vessels with warming waters. All that I touch comes alive with a new ferocity. The card for clarification is Oshun energy, fearless love, yellow for solar plexus and self-esteem. Oshun energy. Oshun is a deity. If you want to go research and study about Oshun's energy, if you want to make an offering to Oshun, she likes honey, she likes sunflowers, she likes pumpkins and oranges, she likes those colors. And so, fearless love. In order to get over an ex and even decide to get back into dating again, you have to love fearlessly. Because with that Nine of Wands that we saw earlier, which is associated with PTSD, it isn't natural for you to think, why would I even dare to do this? Why would I even try to love again and be involved in a new connection only for someone else to hurt me? And so it takes a bit of insanity and a certain degree of fearlessness in order, and self-esteem and confidence with that yellow, which is associated with our solar plexus, in order for us to love again. And with the energy of the tamarind, it talks about knowing what to keep, enjoy, or integrate. Now, if you're processing an ex, like I said, regarding this lesson even coming about, I had to decide what I kept out of what was the remnants of our connection or whatever she sent or whatever, what I would discard and what I would integrate. Not just physically these cards, but the experiences, even the things that were hard or were hurtful or unkind to me. I had to decide how to transmute that energy. Your word not only is your wand, but you are the creator of your reality. If you say it so, it is so. So if it was only negativity and you choose to look at it that way, then that's the way you can go. But in order to be a healed person, even if it was someone who was narcissistic, toxic, and a whole ass demon, not because of them and not for them for any reason, but for yourself, can you find something that was positive? Because if you can find one thing that you liked out of that, then the rest of it you'll create from contrast. But that's you at least being honest, because to say you hated everything about them because the end of it happened the way it did for however it happened for you out there watching doesn't mean that at some point you didn't like that person. One of the things that I do and I'm guided to do when I'm working with my clients by my angels is to ask them, what do they like about their ex to be or their ex actually? What was it like dating them in the beginning? What did it feel like? Were they love bombing? Were they not? I ask you to examine it, not to rake you across the coals, but because I know the way to true growth and transmutation is not to lie to yourself. You like them at some point for a reason. And even if you put it high up on the shelf for your own survival, your angels are asking you to examine that one more time and not give it a full revival. We're not taking them back. You don't have to talk. When I finally opened this, I didn't reach out to her and say, I got your cards. We didn't exchange pleasantries because there was nothing pleasant between us anymore, betwixt us anymore. We very much should just stay on ignore. We very much should not ever be around each other again. She's incredibly toxic for me. I don't care what I was for her. I know what she was for me. And so I would see that as a danger. But what I did is I did exactly what Tammy recommends, was I decided what to keep, what to enjoy, what to integrate, and what to discard. You don't ever have to talk to your ex again to acknowledge the part that was easy or hard, the part where there was real attraction or real disgust. There is intel in each moments that you shared with whomever was that energy and that entity in your life. I learned so much, and you can too. And that's what Tamron challenges you to do, is to be honest and integral. And over here in this collective, that's what we are. We are honest and integral. In order for you to evolve and really heal your heart, you have to admit whatever part you did or didn't enjoy, because that's the truth. You are not them. They're not like us. So they can make you the total villain. But is that true? Is that mature? Are they all bad? Are they all good? Are you all bad or all good? I know what side you err on. I know how a lot of my collective is. And I know where the errors were made with a lot of your exes if I've had the pleasure of working with you. But the truth of the matter is, that one little moment when you did like them, for whatever reason you did, offers you freedom to actually move forward and begin to live again authentically. Be honest with yourself. You don't ever have to tell me, but tell you, so that you can move on and manifest accordingly what now fits you better. Okay? That's such a beautiful message. Fearless love, Oshun. Some of you guys need to look up Oshun and to see what comes along with that energy, if it resonates with you. Beep, 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 beep. There's a message. I lost a deck of cards. Here they are. This has been the weirdest reading night tonight. This harvest card keeps coming out, guys. I'm going to make sure I get a good message from that. That's sacral energy here. Oh, yeah, sexual energy. Okay, I get it. I'm looking at the sacral energy here and a hair that's attached. See, this is how your exes want to be attached. You guys don't see this is my hair, but these are the etheric cords that need to be cut. That was very symbolic. Yeah, there's something that's connected. In order for you to move to the next level, cut some more cords or acknowledge where you need to release, okay? Music, rhythm, dancing, singing. This is something else that's coming in, and the fruits of abundance here. Cornucopia is what I'm hearing, and people that can hold space for you, rarefied air, is what I'm seeing too. That sun energy has to do with you, crown chakra, with the purple there too. We're going to pull a clarifier, I can't, words, clarifier for Tamron, and this is it. One of the things, how do I transmute this? One of the things that they're hiding a secret. What do they need to know about Tamron, and they're hiding a secret? That's so funny. I was like, angels, don't get me into this nonsense with these exes, even though I promised I would do the work. I'm humbly here to do this work for you and to serve you guys today to help you transmute this. They are hiding a secret that Tamron wants you to know. Remember, I said you need to figure out how to integrate, let go, release, and utilize, like our stomach does, what is going to be nutritious for you out of the X connection that was toxic for you or debilitating for you in any way. So the clarifier is they're hiding a secret. When I said, what is the secret? They respect you. The next card that flopped out after, they think you're magical. I knew my angels had me barking up that tree for a reason. What you need to know about some of your exes, and maybe this is me, we're doing work. We are evolving together currently right now in 5, 4, 3, 2. What I just heard, specifically even for the ex that I'm talking about, is because it's so easy. It's a thing we do. Sun Tzu in the Art of War talks about making someone that was once an ally a complete enemy in order to distance yourself, and then usually the recommendation is to cause an injury, so that way they're angry enough to be like, I hate you, and they leave. This is why people push people away in breakups, and there's a whole psychology that's happening all the time, this subconscious power plays. So in order to anesthetize myself and cauterize the wound, ironically, caused by that person playing gaslighting mind games with me and insulting my intuitive intelligence, which is the greatest insult to me considering the work that I do. I was incredibly disrespectful. So it's funny that they would say to me, they respect you, because I thought she was the most disrespectful fuck I'd really run into, to be honest with you. They think you're magical. What I need you to know, remember I said I want you to identify. Look how the angels gave us a little bit of reciprocity. The teacher in me loves this, okay? Do unto others as you have them do unto you. You're never going to hear back from your ex, and maybe some of you guys don't want to, right? You're not allowing the spin to happen. You've blocked them completely. But what you need to know is, remember I just said, I want you to find one thing that you can say nice about them or that you liked about them, and be honest with yourself in order to transmute the energy and move on. The angels are giving you a gift because you guys are willing to commit to do the work, and they want you to know that even if you don't think so, their higher self, even if they were a whole ass nerf demon, respected you to some degree. Maybe because you did set boundaries, okay? Maybe because you did cut them off. Maybe they respect you now. Maybe they didn't then. Again, back to what I said at the beginning was, she's phoning in all this extra credit now when she fucking failed the test. Like, the class is over, mama. There's nothing I can do. It's above me now. You should have phoned in when I was still willing to work with you. But they think you're magical. And I think this is why they were attracted to a lot of you, especially here in the collective, because you guys are empaths and you offer such incredible energy and it's so unique. I was saying that towards the beginning, the angels are weaving a thread of continuity through the whole thing. I love it so much. But you were such a unique experience for some of these people because you were metaphysical and spiritual. Even if you weren't deep into it when you met them, you evolved into it while you were with them, or it was very much a part of your life. Like when I met my cosmic girlfriend, it was a part of my life, okay? So we were very much having portal moments and kismet moments and spiritual shit, stuff that I really hadn't shared with anybody, and that was a unique experience to me. I mean, I've dated people and I've shared that with people, but it was a different thing with that situation. So this is for my heart healing. Look at that. They even said a little bit for the teacher today that maybe this is something that one of my exes, if it's not this crazy person, thought about me. And that was the secret. Because I often would be like, you don't even like me because of how badly she was behaving. You know, I would tell her that often. I am great at communicating. The other secret that they want you to know, in case you're wondering and you're in the moment like my mom was, where you still might be in Stockholm and miss them, the angels want you to know absolutely and unequivocally, you're better off without them. You're better off without them. They're broken. You guys see my broken nail? My nail broke today, and I think it's very apropos. Normally, I would like hide it, but they said, nah, live it out loud with its jagged, crazy edge. It's nuts. They are broken. That's what I just channeled with my broken nail. They are broken, and it was on full display. We're all broken to a certain degree, right? We were just talking about parents, generational curses. We all have woundings and broken places, but people that are really broken and hurtful will hurt you. People that are insecure may not always be the most evil people, but out of their insecurity, they will destroy your life. If they can't fathom what you have or why you have it, they will not want you to have it. They will sidle up to you. There was a video that I was watching earlier where a girl was talking about the evil eye and how if you are pretty, you have pretty privilege, or you take care of yourself, even if you think you're just mildly attractive, but you take care of yourself to a certain degree, someone could perceive you as having pretty privilege, and how the evil eye will happen and how girls will want to befriend you, to get close enough to you to discover what your flaws are, to dethrone you off the pedestal they put you on that you never asked to be on. That's exactly what happened with my ex-cosmic girlfriend. She wanted to be close, sought me out, manifested me in her own way, only to play and play and play, but because she wanted to dethrone me, because how dare I be on the pedestal she did put me on. Also, she wanted to pick me apart. It was the weirdest thing. And that's something that can happen. It's not even about pretty privilege or anything like that. That's me with one of my guy friends. See, be very careful, because guys or girls, whoever it is, sometimes people will want to be close to you only to discover what your insecurities are. We all have insecurities, but it makes them feel better. Like, see, you have insecurities, or see, this isn't going good for you, or whatever. It's very low vibrational and it's insidious. So that's what they need you to know. You're better off without them. That's the secret. All right, we have two more. I'm on 15%. Let me see if I can plug this up, if I can get over my cord. We're doing all those balancing acts and God bless toes. But if I pull too hard, hold on, guys. If I pull too hard, I'm going to unplug it from the wall. So this is going to reach. It's caught up in the comforter. All right, let's see. Oh, this doesn't go in the live. Pop the phone off the damn charger. Yes, mission accomplished. No. Okay. We're back. All right. So it's kind of a little different, but kind of not. We're almost done, guys. All right. Connected. All right. So next one is Yuka. Yuka. Thank you guys for being here. I am going to answer the questions that were asked at the end of it. I just wanted to get through with the reading, and we have one more card after this, and then we'll answer questions. Yuka. Okay. It is central in South America. It's a root vegetable associated with the root chakra, Earth, and it's associated with Saturn, which is associated with the planet of lessons 555. Whoever was asking about 555 earlier, miscellaneous. Saturn lessons. Abundant grandmother. So someone's grandmother may say hello, or a grandmother figure that may love you that might have crossed over says hello too. I am the root. Oh, let me show you yucca. Excuse me. This is a yucca leaf. So you guys can get the vibration of the plant here. Okay. All right. I am the root of our sustained survival. I am the wisdom of the healthy village principle. My roots grow into ancient mountains. When I am bountiful, my community is well fed. Grandmother wishes you to share your bounty, to share your wisdom and your gifts with the next generation. So let's clarify the yucca. This is the deck, I said. I'm going to clarify with light seers. Page of Cups. Let yourself be continually surprised. Guys, it's very late for me. My brain is literally, I just felt like glitch. Let yourself be continually surprised by this thing called life. A thing called life. Maybe going by the ocean will be very healing for you, or a body of water. If you don't have an ocean near you or you're landlocked, find a lake, find a stream, find a pond. Healing happens there. Emotions happen there. That water energy with the heart chakra, all the emotions, all the tears that we cried, going there and understanding. Also, someone wants to apologize, is what I just heard. Maybe the generations that didn't do you right, that could see parents that didn't take care of you, are apologizing from the other side. Maybe it's not the parents that didn't do you right. Maybe it's other ancestral folks, like great great grandmothers, maybe people you never met that are like, we saw what happened and we're sorry. We want to make amends. There's also a sorry that's coming from, I think, an ex. That's very much specific to this message with the Page of Cups here. Yeah, about something that didn't work out with a marriage with the Hierophant as well here. The message on the card is tradition is important, but it doesn't have to be everything. And I think that that is such a powerful message. I always talk about making your own rules. I am married, guys, but you guys are hearing me talk about a cosmic girlfriend, and that's because I'm clear, fair, and honest about what I need as the woman that I show up as. You are all different. I can't make it up. The lovers, you get to decide what your love looks like. And with this lovers, we're dealing with the number 6, which is about balance and equal reciprocity. But what I'm going to tell you too, it's about mercurial energy and communication, ruled by Gemini. Okay, so what they're saying here for you is that yes, an ex may want to apologize, clarify the lovers and the Page of Cups. Yeah, because they can feel that you're no longer thinking about them anymore. Some of you guys really have disconnected, because I just got the Page of Cups upside down. I've had a funny thing with this deck tonight where I keep writing it keeps inverting. So there's, it's so funny to me because I'm like, what is going on? One more on the Page of Cups. What's the message here? Yeah, they can feel that you disconnected. A lot of you guys, I gotta say congratulations. You did cut your cords and you've made that really abundantly clear and it's known. So that is felt by whomever. They would like to sneak back in. I just saw the 7 of Swords just go by me here. That sneaky energy and the devil, they're still attracted to you. Some of them, they might still be attracted to you. One more on the Page of Cups, and it came right out on top of it. The suggestion here for you is this, regarding the message of the wild yucca. Your being gifted is what I'm channeling from your ancestors, grandmothers, grandparents, great ancestral energy, wisdom to share with the next generation. You may be getting some downloads because you passed the test of breaking a generational curse. Specifically in my life, I have passed generational curse tests around leaving exes and leaving unintegral third-party situations and whatever the case may be, and making sure that I was very much operating out of a place of integrity for how I lived my life with the people that I loved in my life and how honest I was about it. Even if it didn't feel right for whoever else, you can't control that, but I was integral, and that's why I get blessed, and that's why I don't suffer like karmic retribution for things, because I live authentically on the front end, even though it's hard. It's hard to be honest. It's hard to be integral. It's hard to tell the full truth when it's difficult, when it'd be easier to live in subterfuge, as we observe from the dating world. But that's the reason that we're wearing this heart chakra green tonight, because so many of our hearts have been broken because people didn't treat us right, because it was easier to skulk away in the darkness of night than to live out loud in the light. One of the things that's happening is you are being gifted and downloaded with gifts about work, and not just work, but you are being gifted new ancestral codes and access to new information as a result of having passed tests of walking away from toxic situations. A lot of you did choose yourself, like many of your ancestors did not. Whether they didn't have the luxury, they didn't have the emotional wherewithal, they didn't have the mental clarity or stability, they didn't have the spiritual insight. It doesn't matter what their reason was. They did not live in the light and they chose to stay in situations and accept what they were given. And you said, hell no, I will not do that, even if it broke your own heart. There have been many times where I've had to break up with people where it broke my heart, right? It really hurt my feelings because I was invested, I was honest, even if they weren't. But that doesn't mean I stayed for the toxicity once I realized what was on the menu in the future for me with that connection. And your angels are so proud of you, but they want to gift you something because it says that there is generational gifts for you. They want you to share your bounty with the world and with other generations. So you did something incredible. You got out of this really toxic situation and you did something that your grandmother didn't do. My grandmother specifically stayed with incredibly abusive people. My mother left my dad eventually, but for a long time she existed in a relationship where it was a third toxic ass, duplicitous, painful, hurtful party, multiple thirds. My dad was real busy. My point is this: with narcissists, he was just always looking for new supply. You are being granted new cheat codes to life because you did something magical. Also, your work and whatever creative endeavor you pour yourself into is a means of healing for you. That's an additional message here. With this green, it's all about healing. This green color is also associated, it just came in, Archangel Raphael, which deals with healing. So there's a Chiron placement in your chart which deals with our healer, our wounded healer, which is a journey we go through where we discover the thing that causes us the most pain or the repetition of lessons that we deal with, and we are to address it. But Archangel Raphael helps us to heal our heart, to heal pain, to heal actual wounds on our body, and to heal some of that autoimmune stuff that may have happened from narcissistic energy. But a really good redirect for that energy is to invest into your creativity, into your work opportunities, or to whatever endeavor makes you better. Maybe it's your spirituality, investing into a hobby. Are you a karaoke singer? Are you a hopscotch jumper? Are you a double dutcher? Are you a painter? Whatever way that you do this, and even more so, if you can put into your art whatever your pain was, you can actually transmute it to your highest degree, which will bring emotional and spiritual and financial abundance back to thee in some regard. So, for example, if you're a singer, pick a song that helps you transmute what it feels to take your power back. It doesn't mean you have to be wallowing in the sadness of a sad song, but maybe you're going to sing an empowering song and it's empowerment for you, but in the audience, it will touch someone who relates to you. What did someone say to me earlier here in the live? I'm relating to this message. This message was brought to you by my pain, right? But in order for me to transmute it and move through it, and to move through the gaslighting and the lies and the confusion and the withholding and the selfishness that I dealt with in that entity, on the bad side of it, I had to be willing to speak it. Throat chakra, Eight of Wands, communication. In order to bring in my harvest, Eight of Pentacles, and abundance, I have turned this into my work. I have poured my pain and transmuted it through love to you. And now there's someone out here that's going to watch this video back who is going to also resonate and then begin to also transmute. And that is the full circle of that heart chakra healing and the beautiful work that we do. So that's what they mean by you are being gifted the ability to communicate and to speak or to teach or to write or to draw or to paint or to sing or to dance or to bake or to cook or whatever you do. And if you pour in some of the pain, out of it will come love, and then it will be transmuted. What a beautiful message. And in conclusion with that one, we're taking our power back, guys. We're taking our power back with this one, guys. So this Queen of Wands is Leo energy, Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius, fire sign energy. And you are in this beautiful place of manifesting. Look at her hand there. In her palm of her hand is actual fire. She's now the magician. You've taken your power back. And I'm so proud of you for that. We'll get a couple conversation cards in that. And we'll move on to our last card. And then I'll answer your questions and we'll wrap it up. I am so grateful that you guys have chosen to spend some time with me tonight on this late night. It's so good sharing energy with you. I mean that. It's not a catchphrase, guys. I appreciate you guys deeply appreciate you guys, like my heart. These words on my own from my heartstone. I love you. I love you. I love you. I really love you guys. I really do. Greetings, Kenneth. Feel free to ask a question if you like. I have a few people ahead of you, but we're finishing up a message and then I'll be getting to questions. All right. So, what is the clarification on the last card that we have? Yuka. And the card that pops out is, oh, that's interesting. They want more than what you have. Maybe this is a message you need to know from your ex. I love how these cards are green. This is so perfect. They want more than what you have. They want more than what you have. Let me get some clarification on that. Excuse me. Oh, 3 cards popped out and went in different directions. I think that that's very telling. The message. First of all, we had an explosion of cards earlier. So oh, you guys were so polite. I love your exchange here in the comments. Thank you guys. This has been such a beautiful live. Can I say, I am so grateful, Miss Laura, that you were at the helm. No, ma'am, I do not expect it all the time. Do I absolutely appreciate you? Am I deeply grateful? The tone of this live has been so different than the last few lives I did. You're doing a beautiful job. Thank you. Now, what I heard was the 3 cards. First of all the cards went everywhere, so your exes have a lot to say. The next thing is these 3 cards went in different directions. That's what happened in your relationship too. And the message is, to course correct that, if we create from contrast, is we will need to be on the same page. Does that make sense? We will need to be on the same page going forward in our harvest relationships. And we need to communicate when we are not going in the same direction. I was reading a book and I had it all done. Tantric relating, but YouTube flagged me and sent me a really personal message. When I say personal, it wasn't like it was like explicit, but they literally were like, you have to take this down, because I was recommending sex toys and stuff like that, which I didn't think it was a problem because people are sponsored all the time on here. I'm not sponsored. I was just telling you guys my opinion of what I thought was some of the best and whatever. In any case, YouTube was like, you gotta take it down. So I hate that for you guys, because tantric relating is about communicating, and it's about catching things before it gets really toxic, and creating a safe space in your relationships where you can say the things that are uncomfortable. So that way, I can't escape this reading. Okay, well, tell me what that means, Kenneth. I'd love to hear more about that. So, talking to your spouse when it's uncomfortable. I would highly recommend that you guys do your own research with the tantra. I'm sorry that I couldn't do that work for you. It was done, but YouTube really, like, I was like, oh, they were like, you need to take you can do this, you can have this consequence. And I was like, okay, thank you for the offer. Anyway, let's get into the clarification of Yucca for you. Remember, with Yucca, what we are realizing with Yucca is that you're getting generational gifts. So, and we were talking about this. They want more than what you have. I asked for clarification. They are hating. That's what was happening in your relationship with your ex. So if any of you guys had a question about it, why you said thank you next, they were hating. I know that girl was hating on me. I was like, this is why. And I told her she was hating on me. I was like, you are a fucking hater. It was so disruptive. I'll read your comment here shortly, Kenneth. Thank you for responding. I really appreciate it. They are hating. So you need to understand that you could be sleeping with the enemy. That is what it means. That's an iconic movie from the 90s. Go off Julia Roberts with the natural red hair. But they are hating. Sometimes your partner can be your enemy, and they will be absolutely hating on you. And if they are hating on you and competing with you, you can't build with them. You can't even edify them. There were so many gifts and talents that I saw in that girl, and I knew exactly how to push it so that she could move into her excellence. That's just a teacher of me. It's not because I'm such a great girlfriend. It's just because that's what I do for a living. That's what I've done my whole life. I'm great at identifying people's greatness. But what she was giving me was strife. And she was hating on me. And I was like, I can't even be a help to your life the way I want to. I had a whole vision, because she was so sabotaging in so many ways. It was wild. But we will do that. I have been a saboteur in other relationships. I have been someone's karmic. That's what I'm saying. I can say all this, but what we're not going to do is act like we're always the most innocent person and we never did anything wrong. That's bullshit. I've been a whole handful for somebody in my life. I know exactly who. And my God, if she wasn't my karma to a certain degree, but then she put 20 on 10 and now she has some karma for thee, okay? Sometimes people overplay their hand and people around you do, but they were hating it. She was hating too. Well, let me get water. We'll clarify the rest of it, okay? I also just heard they're thirsty. Some of them really just hear they're thirsty. I was so thirsty. I've been talking my ass off, girl. All right. They think that you're intelligent. I think this was a problem, is that you outwitted them. You were outwitting them. You're running circles around them mentally. I pity the fool, okay? And that's why I was like, what you won't do is gaslight me. It was such an insult and an affront to my core energy that I've worked so hard on fortifying that Oshun, solar plexus, yellow, confident energy, and my mental acuity. I was like, bitch, you tried it. What you won't do. You know what's so interesting? She was an air sign, and one of the first core memories I had with her that I thought was so lovely and so romantic, we're going to tell the truth over here, right? If we're talking about exes, I had rented a chalet. I was all away for business. She flew out to where I was at, and I had rented a chalet, and we had a beautiful weekend together. And she was magically in lingerie that I had got for her because, be a good girlfriend or a good boyfriend, treat your people well. And she was cooking a beautiful meal, and she had bought me a chess. She had special ordered me this like chessboard that had like a galaxy in it, and it was acrylic, and it had all these stars and moons. And she was teaching me how to play chess. And that weekend that we spent together in the chalet in the snowy mountains, I would think we were in Idaho or somewhere, Oregon or Idaho, and it was like this beautiful valley enclave, snowy mountain. It was so fucking gorgeous, guys, and so romantic. And she was thoughtful, just like these cards that she gifted. So she had this. She had other gifts for me too, but that was a standout. And she taught me how to play chess because she had learned and she had studied with a professional like chess tutor and stuff like that. And that weekend we binged watched The Queen's Gambit, if you guys are familiar with that, which is about a chess player woman who like ended up being amazing and whatever the case may be. But everything is foreshadowing and everything is prophecy when you're working in the metaphysical world. And my angels were like, are you paying attention? I thought she was so alluring. I thought she was so intelligent and smart. I thought it was so sexy. I was like, this is the life I want to manifest. Yes, please. This woman that's in this beautiful lingerie and making gorgeous food, and we're just chatting and spending the day together. And she's teaching me how to play chess. This is so sexy. I'm a sapiosexual. So I was like in my fucking bliss. But my angels were like, wake up, sis. This is not about your blissful moment. Yes, enjoy it for what it is, as the pomegranate teaches us, right? Extract, keep, discard. That was a beautiful moment. Happy to share it, right? But the truth of it is, it was a precursor for the games and the mind games she was going to play. I did not organically know how to play chess. I learned, and I remember taking away a lot of lessons from the Queen's Gambit. I probably even made a few videos because I was inspired by some of the messaging in there. At the end of it, it was me with a checkmate, ironically. And I didn't know how to play chess to start with. It wasn't me with a checkmate in the actual game between she and I. In fact, that game that we started playing didn't really ever get finished for other reasons. But what I will tell you is this: the game is now finished, and it was me that had the checkmate. So that's interesting. And it was a precursor. Maybe there's something there for you to think about your ex and what things prophetically may eventually have come true in that relationship with you. Because if you can know that your angels are with you the whole time and that they are giving you guidance and they are moving you forward, in that moment, even though that was a beautiful moment and a lovely, sexy, sapiosexual memory for me, it was a precursor of things to come, many games, and her having my head spun, even though I do this for a living, right? What I always teach you guys: when you are attracted, your discernment lessens. So if there's an attraction there, you're not paying attention in the normal ways that you would, okay? My face is getting so oily, too long. I'm getting hot. Oh, these lights are so bright, but I'm here. So take out all your clothes. Yeah, some of your exes miss you and they want to fuck. I'm just saying what it is. But in this moment, what I learned is that was my angels laughing with me. They were like, we see you, sis. She's going to play a lot of games with you. And ironically, she's going to teach you how to play better. She sharpened my game. That's the thing about being iron sharpens iron. I don't think she did it, again, altruistically. But what I came away with from the pomegranate lesson from our plant ancestry is I was able to take the good with it. And now I know how to play chess. Not amazingly. I'm no Queen's Gambit, but I understand the game. And it's all about the moves that you make. The last clarification, too, they want more than what you have. They have a problem with using people. You can't make this shit up. 3 cards, one in different directions. They were scattered, is what I'm channeling, to give you clarity on about your ex, and they have a problem with using people. It wasn't her first game of chess. She was an opportunist. And she attached to people that she felt had more than what they might have had or whatever. Whoever you were with, your angel said same, meaning that you were with somebody that was opportunistically taking advantage of you, whether they used you for money, emotion, clout, fame. I'm not famous. It's so funny. That's not what she used me for. She used me for my energy. Empath, you guys have fantastic energy. My energy is of expansion and of luck, okay? Green, the luck of the Irish. So I provide luck. And any divine union and the divine feminine and masculine out there watching, you are an enhancer to your person's life. We all have seen this happen. Even if you don't know them to be a divine feminine, a girl gets with a guy. Maybe it's a guy she would have not even got with, or maybe it's a guy that her friends gave her a hard time about, but she saw the potential in him. Like I saw the potential in her. My angels were real clear with me. They're like, don't get yourself caught up over here on her potential. What is she actually doing? That part, that's the message for you as you move forward into your new harvest abundance and your new Netflix and chill. Don't love someone on their potentiality. Love them on their actual reality and output, okay? And so you'll see a girl invest into a guy because of his potential. She puts a battery in his back. She makes him more alluring. She polishes him up. We see the TikToks about it all the time. The black wife effect, or before my husband met me effect, or whatever, right? We women and we divine union partners, man or woman, however you identify, we have a way of pouring into people's life and making them shiny and polished, and it means that their vibrational raise and people will be incredibly attracted to them, but they are running on fumes because it's your energy that they're siphoning. In this case, she was a siphoner. It wasn't just of me. There were little things that happened in our connection where I saw the energy of groupie in her, not just for me or people that actually deserve it, like real people that are actually stars and singers and celebrities, but like she ran into another YouTuber and I saw her energy. It was like an energy spike. I was reading her like you read like a machine. And I was like, oh, this is a thing you do. This has nothing to do with me. I just happen to be the dummy that was reciprocal and responsive to it. So people sometimes that are opportunists see whatever's on our head that says take advantage and use me. So now let's take personal accountability. How can you clean up your energy? Does it mean that you're not giving? No, I'm a giver. I'm a lover. Does that mean that I'll change that? No. What it means is that I'll be more circumspect, but not jaded, not living out of the 9 of Wands like we talked about with the PTSD, where you are atrophied in your heart space and chakra where you can't go forward and love somebody, right? What I learned is to be better discerning. What I learned is to pay attention to reciprocity. What I learned is to cut someone off immediately when the gaslighting begins before I can allow myself to be swept away in the limerence where I'm now gaslighting myself to stay because I care about them in some kind of way. Message. A lot of you guys got into that with your ex. Let us proceed. I feel like that was a really nice piece of closure there. They were hating, yes. They were hating. They were treating you unfairly. They have a problem with using people. You outsmarted them because you were intelligent, and they wanted more than what you had. She was ambitious, but only for bad. All right, the Rue is the last card here for the night, and then I'm going to answer your questions. And then we're going to go night-night, folks. Mama's tired. I have been doing it and dipping it, and I want to thank you, Miss Laura, for staying the song because I said it was only going to be an hour and I've been running my mouth, but I feel like this is going to be very helpful, so I really appreciate your offering of energy here and bearing with me. All right, so let's see here. I know you are tired too about wanting to go to bed. And you also can leave if you need to. So no worries. I super appreciate what you have given. It's so funny. We were just talking about Jupiterian energy. The Rue is a seed associated with Jupiter expansion. Remember, I just said our energy expands. And we've watched that scenario happen where a girl loves a guy. She rubs off on him. And now he has an affair with someone in the office that would have never looked at him twice if it weren't for the energy that old girl had poured into him and raising his vibration. Okay, that part. This is about the light and being the torchbearer. I am the light of clarity. I arrive like a blaze, clearing a fog. Oh my God, my angels love me. My angels love me. Thank you, Miss Laura. You can go, Miss Laura. I so appreciate you, genuinely. My angels and me will run our mouth all night. So, girl, thank you. I appreciate your service, for real. This is such a perfect wrap up to this. We are ending, but this is such a perfect wrap up to this because this is exactly what I'm talking about here. I arrived like a blaze, clearing a fog. What I was in with my ex was a fog. And if you've ever been in a relationship with a narcissist, covert, vulnerable, whatever, they will create a fog for you. I have never been in a more foggy relationship, which is weird. I've had a lot of shit happen. And I've had a lot of weird toxic people, but she created the highest levels of gaslighting I've ever experienced in my entire life. And it's not just because it's the most proximal or recent experience. Truly, retrospectively, when I'm 60, 70, and if I make it to 80, I imagine, hopefully, that's the last time it will be to that intense degree. She was the most gaslighting experience I ever had in my life, which I was like, I thought I had already set my records. I did not think she was going to hit any record books, but she made it. She made it. So I arrived like a blaze, clearing a fog. Like, oh, let me see. I saw Miss Laura say something. You're welcome. Okay, I saw Miss Laura say something. I arrived like a blaze carrying a fog, compounded minerals, purified, refined in the ocean. Remember, I said get to a body of water, salt water specifically. You can do that in your home if you don't have salt water. Salt water scrubs and stuff like that help you to clear energy and cord cut as well. Okay, guys, so it's not always about traditional. It's just about like clearing the energy. Salt is fantastic for breaking connections and also creating bonds as well. My brightness is the shine of an illuminated spirit. Come on, shiny spirits. And like a torch, I light the way to guide what is ready to find me. What my sister did for me was so beautiful. She told me when I was struggling with my dating and finding the right connections for me, the thing you want is wanting you. The thing you want is waiting to find you. And as soon as I believed it, like the Rue says, I indeed started to manifest the things that were more in alignment for me. Let's get some clarifying energy for the Rue and the light bearer energy. Surrender. In order to be your lightest self, you need to let go. I hope you guys can see this because of the hologram effect, but there is literally a soul that has left the body. Surrender. This is truly about letting go of your ex. I also want to acknowledge that you have. If you're here, you did your work. Okay, so you don't have to wonder what else do I need to do. You did the work that you needed to. You released, probably if it was painful for you. You acknowledged, you transmuted, you extracted what was beneficial for you. You kept what wasn't. You told the truth to yourself. You gave them their flowers, not directly, but just in your head and said, yeah, you were good at that or bad at that, depending. And then you turned into this Queen of Swords. We love to see it, and that's okay. You learned about your boundaries, and that's what I mean about healing your heart for living another day. Because I love it. This card fell out, the Queen of Cups. The angels are telling a story tonight. After the Queen of Swords, they want you to get back into balance, into that feminine energy, into that juicy energy, into that beautiful feminine, beautiful energy, because that's when you are attracting love, the love that's waiting to find you. I can't make it up. Last card here for you, the Empress. That is what we are, divine feminine, Empress energy, divine masculine, Empress energy, loving and nurturing, but with a story to tell. The thing that I love about the Empress and the new beginning with the world, a new karmic beginning for you, new love comes in, love that is true. Well, the story about the Empress is that she has been through everything. She has fought her wars and she has earned her stripes and her respect. And because of that, no one can come at her neck. You have to approach her. She is a humble queen, feet on the ground, depicted in the cards very often, that she is grounded with the earth. But you still have to approach her with reverence and a bit of caution because she knows her worth. And that is such a beautiful way to end that. After your ex disaster, no matter how cataclysmic, how disorienting, how foggy, how gaslighting, how toxic, how exhausting, how expensive, no matter what way you had to extract yourself from the situation, you did it. You transmuted it. You got the best out of it. You made the best out of an incredibly toxic situation, depending on who and what you are. And you come out as the Empress, having got your feet dirty and gotten your hands dirty, but still with your back erect, with your posture great, said you will put some motherfucking respect on my name. And that is how you manifest your next Netflix stage. Because whoever comes in will perceive that air and energy. It is not a false thing. It is not false or false flagging. And it is not just hubris. It is truly earned. And that's what you've learned as the Empress. What a beautiful way to end that personal reading. Let me answer your last questions, and then we shall be proceeding. How do I handle a cheater? Any messages and advice for dealing with the cheater? Let's see what else. Jennifer, greetings. You're welcome. I can't escape this reading. My wife of 8 years, and I love her. Let's answer this first one, and then we'll go to the next one. How do I handle a cheater? So we're going to pull a couple cards on that. Put away our conversation cards. How do they handle the cheater? Shine a light. Shine the light. And also, don't be afraid to be single. Let me solidify that. Also, lose interest. Here's how you handle a cheater. When you take your attention off of someone who's cheating on you, people are cheating for a lot of reasons. People are outsourcing cheating, doing whatever they want to do because they might need a need filled, because they want to spite you. If it's a narcissist, they want to trigger you. There's a lot of reasons that people cheat, right? I see a lot of it. My thoughts and feelings on cheating are very different after the work that I do, because I realize the way that we humans are always seeking for connection, no matter what connections we're actually in. And so I have compassion for understanding our humanity, but it doesn't mean that that's not fair and that it doesn't hurt. So I'm not excusing your cheater. What I'm going to say is, if this is cheating that's happening, and it is, obviously it sounds like it's happening repeatedly, I'm not even going to look at your cheater. I'm going to look at you, and not looking at you in judgment. But I have to ask you what the payoff is. And you got to get real with yourself about that. If someone's cheating on you repeatedly, if they're a serial cheater like that, then they really have no respect for you. That's why I recommend with your exes that you walk away and you stay away. That's the only thing that you need to do, is walk away and stay away forever from them. Because if you ever go back to them, they will mistreat you again and then make it worse, because how dare you ever hold them accountable. Regarding someone cheating on you in a serial way, you can identify some things that are going on with them if you want to have any compassion and take empath path, and say like, oh, why are you doing this? And why are you broken and why do you hurt? But understand it's about respect, or a lack of respect, and so they don't respect you. So how you handle them is actually remove your energy, specifically the Four of Cups, which would be losing interest. When you're giving them your energy, you're giving them supply. They get a hit off of that. They can triangulate you with whomever they're cheating with. They can make it a competition, make someone else have to jump through hoops to please you or please them or whatever. I've been in that situation where someone was using my energy to make someone else like fuck them harder. It was crazy. Not actually in the room, but like energetically, that was the thing that was happening. Sometimes people will siphon your energy to take it to other people so that they can cheat. You have one choice. You get to vote with your feet, and you have to decide what the payoff is. How much do you want to be in that relationship? What does it feel like to you? Does it feel good to you? Why do you like being there? There's some shadow work and journaling that you need to do, because if it's been an ongoing situation and it's something that you've accepted, that person is not someone who is ever going to change for you, and they are never not going to cheat on you. There are so many social media little shorts, TikToks, and posts that are talking about people who have cheated and the psychology of a cheater, why they do it, why they repeatedly cheat, if it's not like some open thing or discussed or built into the relationship or whatever the case may be. And it doesn't sound like that is the case for you. So I just wanted to tell you that that is what is happening. The cheater is cheating because they need whatever supply, itchy supply met. It has no reflection on you. There's obviously some psychological deficit and thing going on with them too. But here's how it now is about you. It's about what will you accept, because the universe is always testing us. Oh my God, do I know it? I get tested all the time, interpersonal tests, romantic tests all the time. And my angels will ask me, how much do you love us, or how much do you love them, or how much do you love you? That's a question that I posit to you. How much do you love the person who's cheating on you? How much do you love yourself? How much do you love your spirit team? You are not a bad person because you've been cheated on. You are the person that is, being victimized here, really. But I want you to take your power back and ask, why do you like whomever is cheating on you? Is it a sexual attachment? Sometimes we have great sex and people be like, oh, I want to leave. Sometimes it's great emotional connection. Sometimes it's whatever they're offering. But what I want you to identify and be honest with yourself, you don't have to say it here. What is the payoff? Why have you stayed? Is it out of fear? Is it out of fear of starting again? Like I was talking to that widower who was like, God, dating? I don't even know. I don't even think I could even think about that, even though his wife definitely wanted him to. So the reason I say that is we all have different fears and things that we will keep ourselves in a relationship for because we can't fathom getting out of it, maybe starting again, depending on what age and stage of life you're at. But your angels are saying to you to vote with your feet. And if you want to affect his behavior or her behavior and not have her just run back to you and to never cheat again, because once a cheater, I do believe always that, especially if it's something they've gotten away with, they get off on the duplicity. You have to understand there's like a payoff payoff. There's like biological payoffs that are happening, dopamine drips and all of that stuff that are happening, and serotonin releases when they get exhilaration from that. So they are getting a payoff. That's why I'm asking you what's your payoff, because in any relationship, toxic or not, we will mirror each other to a certain degree. There are lessons that are paralleling on the opposite side that you will have to learn and observe. So why are you there? And if you want to actually affect the behavior of the person, removing your energy, but it means that you have to vote with your feet and mean it. I never recommend to any client to walk away. I've had people ask me, if I walk away, will they chase me? Well, if you want to be chased, then you're not ready to end the game. You want to still play a game if you want to be chased. When I'm done with someone, I'm done with them. I walk away and I never look back because I love them completely and totally when I was present. I recommend and highly believe probably you're doing the same. But you need to be honest with yourself. Why do you think that you deserve to have that kind of pain? You know, that's a tough question, but that's the truth. All right, let's see. Kenneth, give us weeding. My wife, Kenneth says, my wife of 8 years, I love her, but I feel her deceptive and using my green card situation against me. I'm lonely in my marriage. So many people are, Kenneth. Um, let's see. I'm lonely in my marriage, a truck driver on an emotional roller coaster. Oh, God, I hate roller coasters. And she is, as she fluent her affair. I know being an empath. I don't understand what you're saying, but I think I get it. Same. Yes, I'm sleepy. Angels, how do I help Kenneth? How do I help Kenneth? Do you want to make your wife your ex, Kenneth? I imagine that's a yes. Or do you want her? I love her, but I feel her deceptive and using my green heart situation against you. I'm going to posit the same question to you, Kenneth. Leaving seems hard. Here's the thing. What I highly don't recommend is that you pop into a YouTube live or go get a reading with an actual psychic or reader and make a decision about your relationship because of it. So that's my disclaimer. Do not recommend. 10 out of 10, do not recommend. I am just a person here who is holding space and who's going to try to offer you some grace and some advice from my limited perspective and not knowing the full scope of your situation, right? So please take this all with the biggest, chunkiest grains of flaky salt, okay? I'm going to tell you what I'm channeling, just like I would be working with a client. What my angels are saying is that you do not want to be alone. And even though you are lonely, her physical presence, body, even if you're not with her every night as you're a truck driver, her physical presence, body, and energy offers you some level of comfort and peace. I'm going to be really real with you, okay? So I'm going to read you like I would, again, read a client. And I'm going to be honest with you. There's something that is a really good payoff for you about that. Um, Also, I want to tell you, you really love her. That's what I'm channeling here with all this green on. I feel it. You really do love her. You chose her, is what they said. You really liked her. But she's playing with your head. The green card situation is a hot mess. Let's see. Two of Cups. Clarify that Two of Cups. King of Cups. My God, you really love her. You're a good guy. He's a good man, Savannah. King of Cups and the Six of Cups, man. You're a good man, Savannah. But you have come to a crossroad here. Although we go to the end of the road, the Death card, Scorpionic energy, there's a new portal. That's a portal that we're looking through there. There's a new portal that's happening there for you that you need to look through. It's scary, though, because it means something is ending. I'm channeling Madonna. Something is ending and something begins. Take a bow. The night is over. This masquerade is getting older. Curtains low. There's no more room or something. I've always been in love with you. I guess you've always known it's true. You took my love for granted. Why? Oh, why? This show is over. Say goodbye. She did know that you loved her and also that you wanted family. She observed it of you. She's very perceptive with the Page of Swords here and the Ten of Pentacles. She is very perceptive. And you wanted family and you wanted solidification, and it was something that she was offering to you, and so now you're stuck with the Hangman here. Clarify what he needs to know about his wife, the cheating, and the green card. Shine the light. Radical honesty when people are being inauthentic. is the antidote to the lies. You know that she's being duplicitous, but here's what I'm going to tell you. You need to weigh how this works out for you and how you actually deal with this. You need to weigh how you want to deal with this. Do you want to disrupt this hornet's nest? Do you want to disrupt your stability? The right answer would be run, break up with everybody. That's what the internet says. The internet is fucking idiots, myself included at times. I don't know your situation, right? So you have to decide what you can live with. Again, I counsel clients that make allowances in their relationships because it works for them to a certain degree. And that is myself included. I renegotiated terms and conditions to make sure that I could have whatever needs I had needed to have met. And I was honest. I didn't want to bring disrespect. I didn't want to be dishonorable. But you have to then be okay with not being in alignment with society. Do you want a traditional connection, Kenneth? Do you want the Ten of Pentacles like I saw there, which is family? You want someone to come home to. You have to decide here what is important for you. Confronting is something that you've thought about but you don't want to do. Being single makes you not want to do that either. Four of Cups. Clarify the green card part. That's the part where I'm like, girl, sir, there's a breadcrumbing energy, and also she wanted money. There's something about money here with her. I'm not trying to get in your business, but I'm going to tell you right now. And she has not been active in the relationship with you here in a while. Also, pay attention to the sexual energy. There's so much intel and sexual energy. It's one of the first things I ask about regarding a couple in trouble. What is your sex life like? You don't have to answer that here. It's YouTube. Please don't. But the frequency, the connection, the availability, because I feel like there's some withholding and stinginess that she does regarding control, okay? Regarding affection and control. And I'm going to answer you, yes, she is cheating. So right now, I'm going to tell you the truth. Seven of Swords here, she's absolutely cheating. She does it purposely. She does it disrespectfully. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but you're here, so you want to know. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear, so you're here. And she does it disrespectfully. She flies in the face. There's something about herself where she really perceives herself as some kind of catch, or it is the green card situation that she's holding over your neck, because I'm seeing that here. Kenneth, I want true love. All she wants is my money. I'm telling you, with the money I see, I'm like, listen, I'm so sorry. What I'm holding back is I want to call her a greedy bitch. That's really what I'm holding back, because I'm looking at it. If you were my client and we're working together right now, I'm going to tell you, and you are technically my client right now, she's greedy. She sized you up. Specifically, she definitely sized you up. She was opportunistic and she sized you up, and she saw your deficit. She knew what you needed. She observed you. Remember I said I saw the Page of Swords here. Here it is. She saw that you wanted family and stability with the Ten of Pentacles, and she was like, looking like I caught a lick. And I'm not trying to call you a lick. I'm not trying to call you that. What I'm telling you is that people will see our sweet little empath hearts, and you're a divine masculine, a rare breed. You are a good man, Savannah. You're a sweetheart, and you really wanted love. So don't beat yourself up because I heard your love is my drug. You love love. You may have had some love addictions. You may have had some deep, passionate connections with people and attachments, and disconnecting is hard for you. Clarify what else he needs to know. King of Pentacles, you're such a stable guy, and she loves your money. So I don't know what you have. Do you have children with her? With the Empress here? What else does he need to know while he's answering my question? The Emperor. Okay, I'm going to tell you the outcome of this. You will get your stones up about this emotionally and energetically, and you are going to be the one, believe it or not, that will sever ties with her. You don't want to do it right now. There's some other things. I'm an empath, and I feel everything that she is fucking on me. Yeah, I know, sweetie. I feel you, that you're a sweetheart. I know it. I know you are. That's the truth. Literally. Oh my God, all the cards just went everywhere again. I can't. It's time to end the reading. Literally all the cards on the floor. I'm gonna have to dig them out from under the bed. The card that fell out here was the Ace of Swords. That's what I was trying to get to, which is the truth. And it's something she doesn't know about. She has you in multiple third parties. Please be careful with your sexual health. And then I have the Seven of Cups. It's never too much, never enough. She's fucking greedy bitch. I'm telling you. I hate her energy. I want to cord cut it for you. Ace of Wands. No, withhold your sexual energy if you can. Clarify that. Four of Wands. You are going to have true love in the future, but it means that you're going to have to be brave and look this in the face. It means you're also going to have to clear up whatever's going on, ironically, with the green card thing, okay? I don't need to know your business. Don't put it here on the internet. Whatever it is, you need to clean it up so that you can stand on your feet, because she is using that to lord over your energy. Right now, you're in an impossible, okay, so no kids, got it. Right now, you're in an impossible situation because you feel stuck with the hangman. I see that here. They said you're not stuck. They're going to give you tools and tips to get out, but it means that it's like a multiple process. And I heard multiple years. So it could take you up to a year and a half to 2 years, I think, to be free of this relationship. I'm decreeing it as such, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Because if you're an empath here on this channel and you want love, that's what I'm in the business of, okay? Literally, it's one of the gifts that my ancestors gave to me, is I am able to walk people out of narcissistic, toxic, depleting, using relationships and into things that actually are edifying and replenishing and hold space in an honoring way for them. I love your energy, Kenneth. I love that you're a divine masculine that wants to provide for his family. I love that you have a work ethic. I fucking respect a work ethic so much that you would go and do a job that is lonely and isolating, because it's what a man does. You provide, and I'm so proud of you. And so we will manifest you a wife in this collective. Whoever is listening back to this live, will be wishing well for you and we'll be praying for you. But now it's time for you to begin to take strides to free yourself. Not get a divorce, but to emancipate yourself from whatever she's lording over you regarding your status, okay? Regarding your status. Oh, it seems like it cut out. Maybe you guys can hear me. Regarding your status. It's like status immigration wise. So begin to take those baby steps, okay? And do not share any of this with her. Don't tell her your plans. Don't accuse her and tell her that you know she's cheating. She is. Yes, she is. She's doing it on purpose. She's an asshole. I'm sorry. She's a user and an asshole, and I'm fucking pissed for you. But the truth is, now we're going to move in silence. We're going to move in the shadows, okay? Whenever you go up against a demon, whatever kind it is, and she's an opportunistic demon, you have to use their energy and vibration to escape them. So your assignment right now, and your only assignment and your only focus, is solidifying your immigration status, because that hocus pocus that she's trying to pull on you, that bullshit, will not stand once you are independent. And I'm working on a business, I understand. So that's what I'm telling you. You have to decide what's important for you. That's why they said it's a multiple year process for you, Kenneth. That's what I'm channeling here. It's not going to be a quick fix. I have some clients that get divorced in 6 months. I'm not recommending specifically that you divorce her now. I don't think you're supposed to. I think you were supposed to observe her. Good. No sharing of anything. Excellent. I think you're supposed to observe her energy and start to formulate your strategy. And I'm giving you an assignment directly from the angels. It's clarify whatever's going on with the green card situation and work on your business too. Eight of Pentacles, which is the recommendation of the ancestors for you to do work that is busy so you can transmute whatever toxic energy is happening. But I'm predicting here, since you're on the channel of an ex, and we're talking about exes, that she will someday be your ex. She was dispatched into your life as a toxic soulmate to teach you to take your power back and to be independent and to learn how to be great on your own. She's helped you heal your issues with codependency. You codependently attached because you thought that with her better it would be, and really she has been nothing but a disaster and a whole drain on your energy. And so you've learned so many powerful lessons. She was an incredible teacher for you. And now you're going to observe her and the dastardly toxic things that she does do. And you're taking inventory and account, because one day you will be able to confront her with the truth, but it will be when you have a leg to stand on. And that's the plan. So I'm hearing the order of operations, yourself together, man, and start working on getting out if you want to, but also identify honest. Something should be coming in the mail soon. Excellent. I love to hear that. Let's expedite that, please. I'm praying to Saint Expedite. So let's expedite that for him and get him on his good footing, because then we can begin the process of disconnecting. We're not in the healing process right now, Kenneth, and we're not in the leaving process right now, Kenneth. We are in the process of disconnecting. I love you so much, Lord, that you're still here. I'm about to end it right now. I love you. We're in the process of disconnecting. You are loved by your angels and ancestors. You will be downloaded and gifted and given ideas. But tonight you're empowered to come back and watch this live whenever it's up so that you can remember your steps. It's not about throwing it in her face. It's not about a big cataclysmic confrontation. Sometimes you might have to live with the enemy and you might have to figure out how to move around them. And so your job right now is solidifying yourself independently. Then we'll talk about divorce and the rest of that actually when it's time, one step at a time. But the first step, and you just took it tonight here with a collective holding space for you, is admit that you're not happy, that this is not what you want for your life, that you want an actual, real, invested wife. And if you're a divine masculine, then it's already an escrow for you. You just had to pass this test. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a heads up, a little that so Raven look into the future. You've already begun. You've already won. Okay? You're welcome. I'm so grateful. I promise you, this is the last card I'm pulling. For you, it's the Two of Cups. You will integrate in a relationship with someone who will not only be more than enough, they will overflow, integrate, merge, and create synergy as you both fill your cups. You have not been loved like this yet. You have not been rubbed like this yet. There's something about back rubs. All this woman has brought to you is anxiety. There has been no kind touches and no loving energy, and you deserve that nurturance because you're a man who gets on bended knee and works his fingers to the bone to provide for family. And again, that will be honored by generations. But first, take care of thee, Kenneth, okay? You've got this. Guys, this is probably just one of my favorites. The live was beautiful. Everything was beautiful. The energy was beautiful. I feel like we did some healing, some realizing, some acknowledging. We have some shadow work assignments to do for some of you that might be new on your journey to dealing with the X, some cord cutting if you want to sing, express, communicate, and call in what you deserve. The thing you want is wanting you. You are worthy of that. And if you've given out love, so many different ways to people that were toxic and opportunistic or broken, couldn't reciprocate or take it or ingest it. What you will have, God bless it, is someone that does come in when you're ready to accept it and when you've done the other heavy lifting you need to, whether you're Kenneth or anybody else, and someone will love you overflowing and abundantly in the same way that you've given out to others endlessly. And so it is. So good sharing energy with you guys. Come back and join me next time, and we will continue to evolve together. Good night, all. Good night, Miss Laura. Good night, John Boy.